Okay. What's up? Hey.
Dude, I saw somebody say something in the chat that hurt my feelings.
Uh-oh.
Saw somebody say, I feel bad for Wooly. It's got to be frustrating to have to be dealing with small, dumb issues constantly. I have a name. Okay? My name is Pat. Thank
you. Got him? Self?
Yeah. I thought it would be funny to say out loud.
Good bit.
What's up with you this week, man?
Yeah, I guess we're just gonna roll. Twitch is being fucky, but I mean, it seems like we're gonna be a little more stable now. I guess I don't know if something happens. We'll just roll through it.
I think it is kind of crazy. We can have like a chat with video across the continent.
Yeah, and it is important to remind the consumer every now and again that this is still a audio MP3 recording that you happen to be witnessing via technology.
And our microphones are pointed the right way this week.
Yes. as they were. Yeah, hey, it's fine. The underwater legacy of Brennan continues.
Brennan is super cursed.
Yeah, it's like I said to him online there, it's just like, we have been at this for a decade and still audio is a plague upon all of us. It like no matter how many decades of experience, I honestly bet you, like, Hans Zimmer and Harry Gregson Williams are fiddling with mic cords going, what the fuck is... What the fuck?
Listen.
I bet.
Do you remember that Mummy movie with the Tom Cruise in it?
Yeah.
That's from a professional ass movie studio, and they put up a version of that trailer that had nothing but sound effects in it.
I mean, you know, it was the debut of the monster universe after all. How could I forget? Yeah, it'll like, so they basically made a JoJo intro part with where they do the sound effects OP, but that's the only thing they released.
Yeah, and it had fake Tom Cruise going It killed that movie. That's the funniest part, is that fuck up
that killed the Dark Universe.
Killed the movie. Yeah,
is
straight
that
up.
What it was? I see. It would have been
first impressions are wildly important.
It would have been.
They're the most important thing.
It would have been a complete blockbuster success if not for that.
Like, will you ever go to shake somebody's hand and it doesn't quite go good? Like, you didn't get the good grip, and so you go, no, I'm gonna. You go, no, and you do it again, and you
fix it.
That doesn't even work. It doesn't even matter. It's appreciated by some people, I'm sure, but the first one, the first touch.
I mean, but also, like, yeah, I feel like, well, I'm just reminded of bad CG Hulk trailer, right? Like,
yeah, man.
Like when the CG is incomplete, but you have to tease the movie, and like the renders are still going out the day that the teaser drops. There's no save. There's no save. I feel like when we saw. What we were looking at recently, where they're like, oh, they always put out renders and then they look better when the game comes out. There was a trailer for something recently like that, where they were comparing like the pre-release to the final.
I don't know.
Was it Grand Theft Auto, or no? Was it Rockstar?
I mean, maybe.
Games?
But games. Everything about the production of games is the most fucking weird thing in the world.
Could
have been Tekken or King of Fighters or something like that.
It was people were talking about Grand Theft Auto, and they were showing screenshots of Red Dead Redemption's trailer, and then the Red Dead Redemption final looking way better.
That was better.
Yeah.
That's nice.
But anyway, the point remains that no matter how experienced you are in the industry, I bet you this shit is happening nonstop. You can't feel bad. Although
you can and will feel bad, but you shouldn't.
It just don't beat yourself too much up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess. I'll jump in, because speaking of blockbuster film franchises.
Oh boy.
I watched one this weekend.
Did you?
I did.
I'm excited.
Well, so hey, here's the thing. I talked a little bit last time about feeling some that cape exhaustion, that MCU tiredness. Having watched
even the phrase "cape exhaustion" is giving me cape exhaustion.
That little bit of that everyone feels, where it's just like, yeah, you're, and I think too, if to try and just reset things after Endgame and go like, okay, the Thanos arc came and that whole bit wrapped itself up, and to just try to be like, let's do it again, is a brutal uphill task.
You can't name it Endgame and have it end and everyone stand there and going, oh, it's all finished and it's all done, and then have some, but next week, like, man, that doesn't work for movies.
I mean, this is all just a part of like my larger gripe with media, which is that things don't end.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's a repeating theme that I feel like I'm gonna be complaining about for the rest of my life. But things don't ever end, and like
that's a constant like
sucks.
Like internal lack of consistency when we talk about games, though, right? Because you're like, I really wish everything was new and unique. Meanwhile, let's cut to the supercut of both you and I like coming in our pants at the DMC5 trailer.
Yes, yes. But at the same time, I'm always willing for them to grab that in the things I love and present it to me in a completely different way. No one in earshot of me right now would have predicted or asked for Automata from the Nier franchise, but the idea of more Nier but making things better and cool is a good idea. We're down for that. That story was a lot of fun.
I think there were people going, I would like to play a character action game with slutty robots.
Yes, but
in fact, I think that is a pre-existing genre.
But what I'm getting at is just to say, like, if you can deliver more of the bones of the ingredients that we love, it doesn't have to be the specific continuation of something that should have wrapped up.
Yeah,
that's it, you know. But anyway, this is going off in a long different direction, because the thing I watched where I didn't feel this, in fact, was Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I heard all sorts of good things about that. I also heard, me and Paige were like tempted to go watch it, and then we got like the explicit warning that was like, if you have trouble with watching bad things happen to animals, don't go to watch this movie. And she was like halfway pregnant at the time, and we're like, we don't like, this seems like a bad idea for us to go watch this.
It's really good, and boy, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's, you know, and I realized early on when it dropped that, like, I was like, this is so quiet in its marketing. It's for what I would usually, from the bombast I would usually expect of an MCU main title. This was surprisingly like, hey, James Gunn dropped it. There it is. It's out. Go see it. And people going, wow. And that was kind of it. It was quite surprisingly, you know, just mellow in its drop. And I think it's like it fucking hits, man. It's one of those things where you're basically I would say go check it out, because that continues to be that's a nice thing to enjoy it, despite the feeling of, again, we're post Endgame kind of tired, you know.
But luckily the Guardians, like, all that gets to live in space, far away from any ideas of Kang stage 4 whatever.
I mean, I haven't seen, you know, Quantumania and stuff, but I mean, all it really matters is, like, if you can just, you know, like James Gunn does here, you tell a story in a you know, fairly isolated way that it can and will have to connect to MCU things, because it does. But for the most part, you're focusing here on, like, Rocket's origins, and that's what the story is about, right?
I mean, cape fatigue and all that. I mean, Wooly, if you really want to, be up to date, you're gonna have to see the inaugural a role of Kang played by Jonathan Majors, because he's gonna be a big deal going forward in the MCU.
Let's see.
I don't know if you know that.
Let's see what happens when the lever gets pulled. What's the opt out plan here? There's no elegant way to do this.
Somebody in the chat mentioned it. Quantumania, like the whole movie is to set up a villain that they decided they're not going to go with later. The movie is like actively pointless because people were talking about it's not even good.
Mm-hmm. So,
but like it existed as like a stepping stone to something that might be good later. But that thing's not going to happen.
I heard that Thor is supposed to like not Thor. That Loki is supposed to like try.
I heard great things about Loki.
Loki season 1, I had a lot of fun with it, but I heard that like what they're planning to do is use Loki season 2 to kind of re-aim where they were going with Kang and stuff. But I haven't looked too much into
all
it.
The way over to Doctor Doom.
Are you hearing me fine?
Yeah, I'm hearing you just fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So anyway, the all this to say that if you just if you I think you can still tell pretty good isolated stories, and James Gunn did that with this, and Guardians 3 is absolutely worth checking out. It is fair warning for like if you there's not, it's not just animal cruelty. It's like there's other stuff going on in that as well that is pretty overall sad. It is a bum vibe superhero movie.
Okay.
For sure. It is one of the most bum vibe superhero movies, but definitely like one that is it's bum vibes, but it's still like in Guardians of the Galaxy style. So it's quirky, it's fun, it's charming. The characters are doing their bits, and there's a whole lot of just like they know if that's a weak point for you, if they know they can tug at your heartstrings, they're gonna open you up and yank at them. It's but I definitely would recommend it as one of the few post Endgame recommendations.
It's a good movie, but what does it set up at the end? What's the thing to see at the end for the next thing?
I mean, they introduce Adam Warlock, which is pretty cool.
This thing, like whatever. What's the next thing?
The characters do their things. Everyone does their bit.
I don't understand.
Yeah. I'll even say that like with introducing Adam Warlock, which is a character I was curious to see how they're going to handle it. It is done in a way that is completely not what I expected at all, which is great, which is really, really fun. Like I feel as if any other setting, director, movies, like any place else, Adam would have been played the way you would expect him to be played. Which is the fucking Infinity Stone god that he is. And here it's literally fucking meme kid that's like, you guys got paid?
Yeah,
it's that kid.
It's dumb child.
That kid's Adam Warlock.
Oh no! All right.
And like I don't know if that meme is the reason why he got hired. Like it might have been for other things. I believe was he in another series? Was it Hunger Games or something? Anyway, but he's basically just like Adam Warlock, but but like created too early. So he's younger than you would expect him to be, and thus he's that fucking kid, I was quite surprised to see that casting of him and then playing him in this kind of goofy way, because he's such a mystical, fucking serious, super strong badass from of all the cards that we used to have, the Marvel card collection I had. he was one of the ones where you flip it back and like, oh man, his numbers are all maxed out. He has like 9998 on his stats.
Oh, he's crazy busted.
He's so strong, you know. And it's just like, yeah, no, fuck it. He's a fucking nepo child, like little shitter,
made out of gold.
Made out of gold, and you know. You're gonna play him for that weirdo that he is, and it's I'm like, cool. That's a fun way to do it. But yeah, definitely one of the few I'll recommend. I'm also like,
he was in The Maze Runner.
There we go. Yeah. So
he ran mazes.
I think it's probably just like, even though the subject matter is going to be all tied in and shit from here on out, it's like, okay, if James Gunn knows what he's doing, then like, so be it. Well, like it'll just have to come down to, do you trust the director? You know, do you think James Gunn or Taika are going to do a good job on this? Then like, go check that out. But you know, maybe not just because you want to see what Black Widow is up to. You know, perhaps
fucking dead.
Perhaps, yeah.
What?
So.
Oh right, there's a Black Widow movie coming out, right?
It came out. She's wearing the white suit. What? She's wearing the white suit.
Oh fuck! I can't even keep track anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Check that out. Other things I did, yeah, and like, what was I gonna say? There is a post-credit scene.
Wow.
But as far as your tie-ins go, it's just like, yeah, no, it's there's nothing to fucking.
Is Howard the Duck there?
He's chilling. He's there. He's playing poker. That's it. It's great. Yeah, we briefly talked about Black Widow, and I was like, oh yeah, look, there's the white suit in the trailer, and that happened, and that was that.
Man, the instant I finished watching Loki season 1, every single thing that has a Marvel thing on it just like started to delete itself from my field of vision as I look at it.
I mean, I'm desperately anticipating the post-credits Madam Web scene. We need to know what the morbing Avengers will look like when they all come together in the same room, when Kraven, Morb, and Madam Web.
That's gonna be so good, dude. Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Right. And then Eddie Brock, you know, maybe might walk in at the last second. It's happening. It's super happening.
That fucking horrible New York accent that sounds like he's got a bunch of fucking shit in his mouth.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
So yeah, check that out. I returned to Ultra Kill.
I saw
Act 2 Imperfect Hatred. Yeah, shout outs. Hakita jumped in to be like, hey, by the way, there might be some controller bugs, FYI. And it's like, I'm sure.
That was like astonishing timing. Like, you went live, and then I look down, and I see the Hakita be like, by the way, this verse is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
With the
I mean, I think Hakita's quite busy working on the game. It's still listed in early access, so, you know, I know controller support bug fixes are not the highest priority, and that's okay. Because, you know, I gave it a shot, and I played mouse and keyboard for as much as I could until my wrist started hurting me, and then I stopped, and I switched over and managed to make it through, so it was fine.
Dude, I don't know if you remember when I was talking about Ultra Kill. I was like, you get to the end of Imperfect Hatred, and, like, you're dealing with...
Not there yet.
A lot... Oh, well, You're dealing with a lot of buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing on controller, and I'm like, oh man, I'm struggling with the amount of buttons that I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's time to switch to mouse and keyboard because it'll be easier to switch all these weapons, you know. And then I switched to mouse and keyboard and played with it, and then I was like, what? And then I asked around, and like, no, mouse and keyboard players are also like, there are a lot of buttons by the end of Act 2 of Ultra Kill. There are like legitimately way more buttons to use in a shooter than you could possibly expect to adequately use at all times.
And it's funny because I kind of remembered it being simple in that it's like, okay, you've got dash, and then you got
to be
drop, and you got drop, right? And then you got your punch and stuff, and then it's like, yeah, but then here's your there's punch variants, and then there's the switch switch types. And then, of course, like for optimal weapon switching, you're going direct to the weapon you want and not necessarily going through a cycle and stuff. So, there's a lot of ways to optimize.
That game, I don't know if it has it yet, but I think that game needs a time slowdown weapon wheel.
It has exactly that.
Okay, because when I played it, I don't remember a time slowdown weapon wheel.
There is currently a time slowdown weapon wheel for you to put when you switch and pull up your weapon. That's what I was using on the pad when I did switch. So I'm happy that that's there. Honestly, the thing that I would like to be there as soon as possible, whenever he gets to it, is the ability to just remap controller buttons. Is that
not there yet?
No, unfortunately not. The controllers are on default, and
I mean, you'd have to do that with
Steam. I think Steam Overlay. I think Steam. Yeah, you know what? I didn't go back to test that out. Steam Overlay might be able to take care of that problem.
I should tell you, by the way, that I don't know how often you use Steam Input, like fuckery. It's the most powerful like controller setup thing that's ever existed.
Yeah,
it's so unbelievable.
I've used it to solve a couple other games controller issues for sure. Yeah. I would have to just go back in and see what this one. But
like there's an option I fairly recently discovered in the Steam controller menu that allows you to have a controller setup that has a default mapping specifically for just pressing the guide button. Which includes instantly turning off the controller and changing your computer's volume level.
Holy shit. Wow.
So like if I need to turn the volume up, but I'm holding the baby because I have a baby, I hold the PlayStation button and just hit up and down on the analog stick to change the fucking volume. Like it's what, like using a controller on Steam has the potential to be 100 times better than using a controller on whatever fucking console it actually came with.
So if I remember correctly, we discovered a lot of this when Hitchhiker was doing the DMC5 overlay, right? To make it so that there's a toggle for like switching between like holding a trigger button to bring up a different series of main buttons and such shit. So that's super cool. I would like I said it on the LP, but as far as it goes for me, I'm just like, I think the mouse is great. It's super accurate and it's a fantastic way to aim. I just hate the keyboard side of the equation, So
you're right.
I would be interested in seeing if I can hybrid it just to see if it works. But I
turn that auto aim.
I did manage to play with fine with the controller when I did switch over and such. But you're just the fact that you do have to let go every time you place your thumb is that one issue with it. But again, like I feel like I was able to kind of compensate and learn. I don't want to relitigate this whole keyboard controller shit issue because like it's gone from being a fun discussion to just being like really, really annoying because some of the people that come out with this are like I try to mostly keep away from the crazies whenever I can. Yeah. The real insanos are coming out with the keyboard shit, and I'm like, okay, I just don't even. It's not even a normal conversation. You're out of your fucking mind. There's no point in just going over this over and over and over again.
A fascinating, because like using Ultra Kill as like the basis for this discussion is really fascinating because like I was saying, I've played the game at length in both, and like the game has like the game wants so much of you at all times that either control option has like glaring holes,
and it's pushing you to your limits no matter what, for sure.
Like when after you stream Ultra Kill, there was a thread about you switching from a mouse and keyboard to controller, and part of that thread was people going like, I don't know how to switch weapons fast enough on the keyboard. Because I don't have the wheel or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And like people talking about like where they put this weapon on it and where they put that weapon.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. So no, thankfully, and I mean, look, for the most part, it's at a. Most people are just like, dude, just play how you want and have fun with it. It's fun. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. It's just, those people are coming out, and I'm like, all right, we're doing this.
I think there's one option that would make your life a lot easier on this forever, and that's an option that I've been seeing lately, which is like an option where you are controlling the prompts that show up, agnostic of what you're using to control the game. Like you go into the menu and you go, what buttons do you want to show up? Mouse and keyboard, controller, or because I remember when you played Apex and your interface was the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not good for anybody.
The way that Overwatch did fix it was like pick the one you want it to stay on, and it'll stick to that mode or so. That was hilarious. Yeah. But beyond that, though, all things considered, it fucking just what an amazing.
There's so much there.
I mean, yeah, like nothing surprising here. Ultra Kill is fucking incredible. It's so good.
So much, and we're there.
Yeah. Sharing a coffin. Fucking.
Well, barely. Boom. You're in the coffin, and I'm the tiny little baby fucking skeleton.
And then I did not recognize Mandalore's voice right afterwards there, but
I had like relatively recently watched him go through Mystery of the Druids, so it hit a lot harder for me.
Should check it out. But the vibe that is like coming back to that game and just being like, okay, what were the interactions with they all interact with each other in the best ways possible.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And I mean, I think like, when Doom is at its highest, when you're in the middle of it, like you're doing the combo, you're doing the sequence, right? We talked about, and rotating through as you take out each enemy in the way it's supposed to. But the fact that that Ultra Kill, it's more than that. It's interplay of the weapons with each other's secondary fires and such. That's so much more, like, it's a little extra level of like, oh, fuck yeah, that design is great, The magnets working with other things, the nails working with electricity, the coins being reflectable off of, like, everything interplaying with each other.
I just went back to coin. Whenever I didn't know what to do, I just like, give me coin back. Coin will help me.
I never relied on coin that much, to be honest. I
love coin.
I only started fucking with it more so this time around. And yeah, it's super incredible. And then, of course, you're fighting V2, and then you get to use V2's coins, as well. And yeah, the railgun being heavily reworked from last time, as per my usage of it, the unintended way to play. So now
it's funny. I saw like the way I found you going live was I saw someone tweet Ultra Kill nerf incoming and had a link to your stream.
I don't think I found anything here that was particularly unintended that just went through it as bad as the nail gun the first time. But the changes are quite wild. It's so much less than it used to be, man. It's crazy. Like, yeah, you run it like you get this high octane insane burst, the full heavy arms for a bit, and then put refractory period.
Switch to something else.
This gun is tired. Nail gun is tired. Come back later. Basically I think I stopped. We hit. I did the fishing mini game as guided, which was wild. Did you see that?
I don't know.
No, you would know. There is a full like hour-long fishing chapter.
What? Okay, I didn't.
And
what?
Yeah.
I knew this one. Did you do the Crash Bandicoot one?
I did not get that one.
Oh, there's like a full Crash Bandicoot sequence in there that's insanely difficult.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. You just spend a while fishing. And there's a whole little side guide before you go back to the main arc. And then yeah.
Oh, apparently it was added after I stopped after I did my videos.
Oh shit, okay. Yeah, that was fun. And then fought the ferryman.
Oh yeah, dude, that fight kicks ass.
So good. What a great duel, right? Especially that he's coming in close on you. And I like how both him, so the ferryman has that rush down sequence to him where he's like locking in on you and going for the stinger, and V2 is like, you can fight from a distance if you want, but he's gonna get pissed. The further you are from V2, the angrier mode he gets into, you know. So it's just like it's within your interest to rush that shit down, be aggressive, punch your shotgun shells. It was a lot of fun there. There was a room that like was really getting me in particular that I forgot which room it was, but it was just like, okay, yeah, this is...
Was it in the boat? Because I remember getting real fucked up in the boat.
It was prior to the boat. It was, I think it was closer to the Sisyphean, what was it? The Sisyphean boss.
Oh, man.
The thing that fucking throws the giant boulder at you. And
that fucking thing. Man, the second act of Ultra Kill just starts to get super weird.
Insurrectionist, there you go. The way that boulder comes flying at you is such parry bait.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that you can identify it by the timing of it. It's like, duh. You're like, oh, come on. You know you can parry that. And sure enough, you can. Feels great. Feels very, very cool. I can't wait for like the final finished launched version of this, whenever that may be, when it's all said and done.
I almost feel like maybe we should probably reach out to Hikita about this, about like, because every couple of levels like more button gets added. And it's like, what is your plan to deal with like the mental stack slash dexterity required? Like,
what are
is the
your
plan
goals,
to just
sir?
have players like focus in on the things that they really like to do?
I didn't find it too bad. The one the button that I like was a little bit extra was the switching between fists button.
Yeah.
I think there were times where I was like, I want to punch the shotgun. Oh wait, shit, I'm on the other shotgun punch. You can punch. You could have a punch shotgun, or you could have a shotgun punch. So it's like, which one do you want? And I was like,
I want to talk to you about that, but I shouldn't.
oh, okay.
I'm just saying, you're describing the exact thing I'm talking about when I say the mental stack just keeps increasing.
It keeps increasing. Yeah. Okay. Boy.
And it becomes like kind of unmanageable.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is though, but you can't make the punch.
Oh, you have the grapple. Okay.
I got the grapple. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, because there's 3 now.
Yes, then you
because when it was like flip between one and the other, that's one thing, but now it's cycle around.
It is, and it's a completely different input as well. It's the L1R1, you know, so you're doing that. Also, it's surprisingly, like, it's lenient in some ways, but really unforgiving in others with the way that the snap works on it. It's not a hit scan or anything, clearly. It's like it's traveling out, and if you're dropping, you better be shooting above it within a certain radius. But I've missed a couple swings on that a few times, just in the rhythm of things. And yeah, adding the grapple to combat as well, adding your meat hook in addition to everything else you're doing is very demanding for sure. Still though, I mean, I'm never gonna spit in the face of a grapple option. That's rad as fuck. I love it. It's super cool, and it does exactly what you want, which is pull the small enemies in and pulls you to the big ones. So
that game's great.
Really,
one of the
really
highest rated games on Steam, and with good case, good.
Yeah, and I think too, like, something I'm kind of realizing here is, as well as the 1v1 boss fights that are all fucking amazing. Like, I love that they've so far, with one exception, been like, you're in a grounded arena. It's not like there's pits in the middle or anything. There's no stage hazards to worry about. Just win the fight. The fight is challenging.
Did you play the Doom Eternal DLC?
Not yet. I remember that you told me about the double Marauders.
The final boss of that first Doom Eternal DLC is like the worst first-person shooter boss I think I've ever encountered in my entire life. Like it's like the entire arena is attacking you while, like, there's pits, there's lasers out of the wall. It's like it's constant while the boss is fighting you. It's and there's ads
and stage hazards. Yeah.
It's rough as fuck.
I mean, like the no surprise, the room that I'm talking about that I was struggling with here was it was a room that had like tons of pits, and it was a shot in the dark was the chapter, and it was like you're in the dark, you can't see the full area, and there's a lot of pits for you to fall and die in that kept
throwing bad at pits.
Yeah. That being said, though, I love the fact that those duels are just like pure, you know. Take all the mechanics you have and put them together.
Yeah, you fight V2 in like a fucking flat square room.
Yeah. Thankfully, I can say too that even though it's been a while, I was able to like do significantly better than I did against I was gonna say Gabriel. In my first act attempt, because that was a Dark Souls sit and fucking hammer at it boss for me, you know. I think I've improved a good bit over that. But yeah, I'm gonna be continuing with that for a little bit, just because like it's short, it's sweet, and it's so fucking good. I want to get through all of the extra shit that's come out since the last time I played it.
So like Ultra Kill is the kind of game, like, I don't think I'm gonna go back to it until it's done, because I went through most of the first and second act. But also, like, there's so much fucking shit in that game that you don't see by just rolling through it.
The secrets, yeah. Which, I mean, again, Hitchhiker came through and appreciate it, just being like, hey, there's a good secret over here. You know, this one's worth seeing, you know. So there's a whole lot of bullshit that is going to be worth going back through it once it's finally done, just for all these extra Crash Bandicoot, what the fuck? Like,
I beat that Crash Bandicoot level, like, and it was hard as fuck, and it was super worth it.
Madness. Yeah, everyone, Ultra Kill, a reminder that Ultra Kill fucks. Okay, and not content with overwhelming my brain with the genre that is FPS, I decided to get aggressively into card games. Okay. I have decided to start messing around with and playing Aska R. Kreutz, the gear maker in Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh, you fucking piece of shit! Oh, you fucking motherfucker!
Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
Oh, that's good. That's good. You got everybody. You got everybody with that.
He is absolutely a fucking card game, man. And here's why. Here's how I can prove it to you. Because I played, me and Reggie were messing around, and then afterwards I kept playing, and I'm spending more time. There are entire rounds where I don't look at the game. I just look at my deck. I swear to God, my eyes are on the bottom left corner of the screen, looking at my hand and my magic, and the game happening is peripheral. I've never felt this way in a fighting game before. I have the feelings this character brings out are insanity. It has never been like this.
Sounds like you're ready to play Red Mage.
What's that like?
It's exactly what you just described.
Oh.
Like, I gotta watch my fucking hotbar for my procs. I know I don't have time to follow the fight.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. You're in your own world. You're playing a different game over here, which is so fun that, like, it's literally part of the character is, like, the intro. He walks in, and then person talks some shit or says their lines. You know, mankind knew that they could not change society, yada, yada, yada. Rah, I'm gonna fucking get you. And then he's like, sorry, can you say that again? I was calculating my percentage of chance of winning this fight. Or I was doing, like, he's literally not paying attention to the shit talk coming at him because he's looking at the fucking books, you know? And yeah, so like you actually are just looking at the spells, the cards you got, what's on cooldown, what's coming back, where your mana's at.
You're sick.
Right? And then the interactions they have with each other. And like, then he's got he has 3 decks to switch between. And like, just learning one deck is getting maximum is like.
I feel like he's I think I said this last time too. We talked about him, but I think Asuka is like the natural end result of Arxis going, every character is a system in and of themselves.
Yes, and also every character is an homage to a genre, right? So that's the thing, is he comes in as the homage to card games, and they do it the most justice they possibly could. I will say that overwhelming, crushing weight that you're feeling of trying to put it all together is fun. It is fun to do, right? Because when I do manage to get that round out or two where I'm like I'm barely winning right now. I'm getting annihilated by anybody who knows what they're doing. Especially like the stream was rough, and then I learned a lot more afterwards and kept messing around. But it's so hard to really. It
seems like the kind of character that would have a fairly extreme learning curve.
And yet, the funniest thing about it is when you go to the character select screen and highlight him, it says difficulty of use 1 star.
That's bullshit. That's lies. Well, is that just a lie? Is that like a joke?
I think it's a joke. I think they're legitimately just like joking and lying to the player. It says he's 1 star difficulty. It's insanity, right? And it's like, oh,
that's really
right. And what's the logic? Like, just do Hadoken and you'll do his spells. It's not that hard.
Oh, okay. I get the logic. It's lies.
He's easy to use, no problem. Is 1 star the hardest and 5 is the easiest?
If that's the case, then that is not what I really. That seems stupid.
I thought that it was. Yeah, I thought you rate it according to 5 stars means holy shit, that's really hard. It's okay.
Ease of use. Okay. So 5 stars is the most ease of use. That is. Come on.
Yeah, okay. It's backwards. So you know what it is? It's like when you win, and instead of gaining a round icon, you lose one of your 2 hearts.
Yeah.
Right? That's another strivism, is to like show you like it's not that I won a round, it's that you have 2 lives and I took 1 away. So it's just a kind of reverse thinking on it. Okay, well I guess that makes more sense then. I was just like, what is this troll? This insane troll.
That's silly as hell.
Sorry, give me a second. My heater's on really high for some reason, and
you sweaty?
Yeah, I'm getting sweaty over here. Yeah, let me 1 second. Let me just fix that. So yeah, the fucking wildest thing is like you pick him up and you go to the character the move list, and then he's got his move list, and then there's a separate tab which is just here's all the cards and what they do, and you're like, let's learn the 30 cards in the deck that we got to rotate through and such, and then like you don't it's already just getting the hang of like your deck and playing it and how they play with each other and keeping track of your mana in addition to your card restocking and everything in the middle of the fight is so much. And whenever you hit that ceiling where you're like, I have mastered this, I'm pretty good to go, I know how to manage it all, it's like, great, there's 2 more decks you can switch to, and each of those decks has separate cards in them.
Wait, I'm sorry, when you started to say you start looking over the 30 decks, I thought you meant 3 decks of 10.
No, you have 3 decks of 30 cards. And they're different configurations, some of which include cards that are not in deck B or C. Some are common. So you can literally switch between 3 styles of card character for your preference. It's not just it's not just the full.
Don't do that. Just stop. That's
they wanted to introduce a card character, but they wanted to also introduce like multiple card characters in one, and so that's what you get. It's insane because deck C is like trickier. It has teleports in it. It has some stuff that is like purely like luck based. You'll draw a card that'll be like, okay, this card just makes it so that the next ability you do is recycled. You don't discard it. This one has a 5-second timer on it. So the moment you draw this card, you see 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you wait to use it when it's down to 1, it'll be powered up. But sometimes it'll be weaker. So sometimes you want to use it faster.
What's wrong?
Right? This card means don't use it until you're near the end of your hand. Right? When you're low, this card gets more powerful before you reshuffle it all in. It's so crazy.
I'm gonna barf. It's too much.
And then don't even get started on the staff cards, which are all like modifiers that affect the way the spells come out and the arcs they travel in. There's like gravity drops low, gravity high, speed up my fireballs, slow down my fireballs, so like orbit the screen.
Shut up.
And then you're looking at all these types of spell casts, all these types of orbs and projectiles, all these types of staffs, and then your super, which is also susceptible to the staff manipulation. And yeah, sometimes when you're like, okay, fuck this, I need to just put it all, you're just like, okay, never mind. I'm spending a super to just shuffle. I'm going to press buttons to shuffle through my deck, and every button you tap just shuffles that slot. So you can literally just be like, I want that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, great. Resume. Where were we? And it's like, it's legitimately a great usage of your meter.
I see somebody making a joke about legalizing nuclear bombs in the chat, and I'm like, you are playing as the Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
Actually, factually. Legit. Tossing my orbs out, and I mean, I love the idea, like, because as Reggie was putting it, it's just like, yo, okay, so you're playing your fucking Unga ass Nago, and then you're like, yeah, but hold on a minute, I got a secondary, I got a pocket gear maker that I'm busting out. What are you gonna say about that?
Can you rewind a second? I am in awe at the total impenetrability of the sentence you just said with your mouth. You're out here playing your Unga ass Nago, and I'm over here pulling out my second. What the fuck are you talking about?
I have an Unga ass Nago, and now my secondary is to pull out a pocket gear maker. What are you gonna say to that? And Max is like, yeah, I can see it. It's true. It's true.
You're just saying fucking words.
Did you see? I don't know if you saw Maximilian.
I did see
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just what it looks like for when normal people see. This is, I mean, look, for 10 years, people have been like, well, Willie, what the fuck is he saying with the fighting game words? I'm maining Nago Ryuki. He's a very aggressive.
He's very gorilla.
He's very gorilla. To be gorilla means to rush you down with one brain cell and go in and spin and go hard and then pop my blood or don't pop my blood, hopefully not, and just get in your ass and get you dead before you do anything, right? Very, very simple game plan. However, to switch to a character whose game plan is so insane, 2000 IQ, is the complete opposite character of the main that I have. There's nothing in common with these two. Whatever top shit you have about the first will not apply to the second.
This whole dichotomy between your two character choices is like, at the meetup, how many drinks have I had? Am I at 0 to 3 drinks? It's Asuka time. Is it 4 or more drinks? It's time for Nago.
One thing that is pretty funny to see, though, is just messing around online with him. Again, losing brutally, getting my face stomped in while I'm head in a book. Is the amount of people that are especially really good players that at start when your spells are up and your mana's full, they're like, they're even the most
I don't know what is going to happen.
I'm scared. I'm approaching cautiously. Even Soul, bad guy, who's all about rushing your face down and just being nonsense, is kind of just being cautious while approaching. And then when my cards are out and my mana's low, it's like, okay, get him. Don't let him live. Don't let him up. Stop him out, At which point I have to do something desperate to try and get my cards back. But there's that little fear of what you could be doing if you had the character under your control properly. The things that they must have seen when really good Asuka players are actually using him. And from watching replays, it's unbelievable because you see people land a counter hit and then look at their hand and go, okay, got it. I can improvise with these 3 cards into a juggle that'll do a wall splat.
Adapt has never been required to be faster.
And that combo that was improvised all the way to the wall and then wall break, the next 4 cards you get, completely different setup. You can't do that anymore. You got to do something else.
And then all the way at the other end of that fucking bell curve is I'm just hitting buttons, man. I don't
mm-hmm. Yeah. It's easy to. This is the hardest video fighting game character that's ever been made. Easy. There's no discussion about it, and it's hilarious. But I love the idea of actually attempting to climb this mountain. So I'm fucking around with it. It took a minute because Strive updates were coming, and there's a lot of good games to play. But coming back around now, and you know what too? I also, just for the hell of it, Reggie was playing Johnny, picked him up pretty straightforward and had a good time. I played Elfelt just blind without just, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, what does what? Okay, got it, good. And they're like, oh yeah, easy, fine. Do the high, do the low, do the high, do the low, do the big one. Shoot the gun, hit him with your butt. Do the command grab. Yeah. And then
that sounds right.
Right? And then her win pose is one of the best win poses ever, where she does the death metal growl.
It's very Cell.
Thanks for watching. It's great. So real simple, real basic. Yep, got it, good. But I just, I want to climb this mountain a little bit. I want to have even if I'm not decent with him, I just want to know how the character works and be able to say that okay, I get it. I get what you're supposed to do. And I'm starting to see the code. I'm starting to see the backyard.
Are you?
A little bit. Because I can tell first of all, I know what maybe 80%, I can recognize 80% of the cards and get the application on site, and I can put together how to combo with at least 2 of them via getting a first touch, using it, and then extending into another one. So I have the formations of a game plan. My brain is getting a wrinkle from using him. But if anyone like I like, if you just want to experience what it's like to play a game while playing a game, and like the game you're playing down here has a more important outcome than the game you're playing up here, where the person fighting against you, you're just like, yeah, leave me alone. I have to make sure I shuffle. I have to, what? Oh shit, okay, I gotta
fucking integrating
All right,
Henry Hatsworth into fucking fighting games.
I mean, like, there's a point you get to when your mana's low and you have 3 ways to refill it. And you have to, like, you can just autopilot if you want to be like, do my mana refill. But you have to choose what resource you're sacrificing. Because the 3 ways to refill your mana are, you can use your, like, super meter, you could use your life bar, or you can just do the slow one that uses neither, but it takes extra long. Mm-hmm. And to decide that means to check all of 3 and decide on the fly which is makes the most sense, you know? But what feels really good when you're using him is you see these awesome animations, which I've also loved, like the modern day mage design with like a spell book and like updated clothing. I've talked about this. I've seen this kind of character design.
He got his little cat ears off, right?
Yeah, and he's got the J's and he's got the fucking. I love modern mage with a book. Like, that's such a cool look, and he's got that going. And what's awesome is when you see cast a spell, then do the page reset. So cast a spell, restock the bullet, and then charge a little bit of mana back. And you can do that all in one sequence. You can do cast, refill, charge. And then it's like and you just see the character going from the different animations. And it's a very gun, trick, sword kind of vibe to it as you're doing all 3 every time you do one thing. You know, it's a manual, fire the gun, reload the bullet, and then click it back into place, you know, each time you shoot. And that's a little fun feedback.
Where do you fall on, like, you know, if I don't know what I'm doing, how can they know what I'm doing? Like, where does that factor in?
I mean, it factors in that, like, as long as you're out of bullets, as long as you're out of spells, they're coming at you. And when your spells are up, they have reason to be afraid. That's the simplicity of it.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Right? And when they start to know you a little bit, they can recognize, he's got the icicle. And the icicle means he has a Shoryuken. Mm-hmm. But I don't have a Shoryuken if I don't have an icicle. You know?
Yeah.
And if I've got the black orb, it means I have a long range overhead. But if you don't see the black orb, then I don't have a long range overhead, so you don't have to worry about when you're crouching. You know? So if they start to learn what those cards are, it'll get a lot harder for sure. You know? But for now, it's just, does he have cards? Yes, be cautious. Is he out? Stomp the nerd. Shove him in a locker. That's it.
Rush the wizard. Got it.
Yeah. And of course, as you can imagine, because this is literally that man, he has some great interactions and stuff with Saul, and a lot of the dialogue is fun between them. And the fact too as well that, like, you can pick alternate versions of him on the character select screen, because there's the real version, and then there's a magic clone he created from the story mode, and they both have different dialogue options as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It makes sense when you watch the Strive story as to, like, why that's there and what the point is. But it's essentially a canon in-game way to do what they used to do, which was you could load different recordings of old Guilty Gear voices in, like, Reload and Accent Core and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, they would be like, hey, one version has Saul going Gunflame, but the other one has him going Gunflame. You know, so
I remember that. Yeah.
You can just load out A, B, or C depending on how you want it to sound, and like.
But now it's technically a different character.
It's you press up on the character, exactly. So it's an awesome thing for that. I've always been a huge fan of that in fighting games. I wish they do it more. Arc Sys is really the only ones that do it to that level. Street Fighter 4 had the story mode battles where they talk to each other, and there's a little bit of that going on in 5 and 6, but it's so minimal.
Listen, like, Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting is a great game, but Guile going Sonic Boom is dog shit compared to Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Somersault is always the best.
I disagree. My favorite of all time is the big, giant, badass Sagat going, Tiger! Tiger!
Yeah, that's pretty. Well, you would with Sagat. You love Sagat.
Tiger! Uppercut! What a giant beast of a Muay Thai
9.5 feet tall.
The Emperor of Muay Thai says, Tiger! Yeah. Tiger! Knee! Anyway, it's always fun. Blaze Blue in particular has the one I remember. I mean, I'm sure I don't know if they kept it going, but after the initial game, Calamity Trigger, when Jin and Ragnar are fighting, he has moves replaced with like, "I'll never forgive you, Jin.
Right.
Die already." You know. Yeah. So Asuka is fucking wrinkling the brain. Lots of fun there.
Nah, man, when I play fighting games, I want my brain to fucking smooth out.
Yeah.
I want the end of Fooly Cooley to be happening up in my fucking dome.
Well, I regret to inform you that Potemkin has one new move. So
I'm out.
Yeah. Anyway, it is a unique experience, dude. Playing the game while you're playing the game. It is the closest thing. So back in the day, I made a bit about Street Fighter Cross Tekken in Fighterpedia, where it was like you can go to the auction shop while using the Pandora system to toil the earth for Zeddy, and the hostages are need to be rescued, right? But don't get caught in the pneumonia system, right? Like all of that was there, and I'm like, this is the closest we've ever gotten to that. Fighterpedia bit being a reality.
The original version of that joke was the fake Blaze Blue screenshot that Matt posted on NeoGAF like 11 years ago that people thought was real. But I look back at my mind's eye of that screenshot. I'm like, that screenshot doesn't have enough bars in it now.
And and then the origin of the whole joke, sacrifice your partner for more time on the clock. Like that's literally what was the opening joke of that Cross Tekken episode, So when you see this many systems, and it's like, I can't be focused on comboing you. I have to make sure that the jobs don't get closed down on the job board. And I have to make sure that my Zenny has a good value for trade-ins while I'm fighting you, It was great. This is that feeling. This is absolutely that feeling of like, I'm not looking at the fight happening, but I'm still vaguely participating in it because from the corner of my eye, I saw Soul flash and then come flying this way. So I'm like, oh, he's doing an air dash. Okay, I should probably anti-air that. But I'm not looking away from my hand. Incredible. And once you put together Exodia, like I went to go. This is one thing that I definitely recommend too when you're picking up a character in a fighting game. Just go to the replays and just see what's possible. And I went to go watch a top level Asuka player and just to see what it looks like. And it's like, oh my god, okay.
So yeah, I feel like I have a flip side to that, which is very similar, which is not see what's possible, right? Because seeing what's possible can mean a lot of things. To me, it's like see what you have to be doing in order to play this character. Because to me, I look at this thing, I'm like, how does he know what cards to be playing? Oh, he just knows because he memorized them? Okay, on to Elfelt. Excuse me.
Yeah. You're memorizing the cards, and you're like, in this situation, this is the right call. That's it. And what I see happening is a fucking like cautious play with a normal looking hand, and then landing a stray hit, using all of those spells to like empty out onto the opponent, and then in the time that they're getting back up, switching to deck 3, doing a super, getting a hand of wild, crazy, amazing things that play with each other. And then by the end, he puts a staff down, he's shooting multiple orbs that fill the screen with bullshit, does a super so that the screen is cycling with bullshit that you can't get around, teleporting behind you so that you start getting hit by them, and then moving in to do a big explosion. Like, it's fucking nuts.
You've come a long way from juggling Sin's meat meter.
Right. If I know that this is not the end of development, but it feels like it should be the final character.
I feel like they're trying all sorts of weirdo shit with these characters. Like, I think back to that little tutorial they put out with what's his name? The big guy, the fat guy, the
Gold Lewis?
cool name.
Dickinson.
Gold Lewis Dickinson. And the phrase "with this behemoth typhoon."
In this behemoth typhoon. Yeah.
And just like, how much value can we get out of one move?
But Gold Lewis represents a fighting game idea that should have existed infinity years ago, which is spin the stick in the direction that the character should spin their attack.
Yeah.
Right? I always loved how, Revengeance and even Raiden in MGS2 had using the analog stick to aim the sword. And I love it in Fight Night when you're boxing and you do a curve to do a hook and an uppercut from down to up, So it's like motions that are like, yeah, I swing from here to here, and that's what you see on screen. Feels real cool. Really dope idea for that. Anyway, so that's going on in Strive. The epitome of the Eminem meme where he's got his hands out and he's throwing some shit at you.
Yeah,
and like
it's a test of your reflexes.
It's this times a billion. Like, just the screen is filled. Beyond that, we so did a little bit more AC6, and that's continuing to be rad as shit. I'm probably on track to complete at least New Game, maybe not New Game Plus and the branches, but
I'll tell you what, those New Game Pluses fucking go. They fucking go, because you now know what missions actually require you to fight anyone in the mission at all.
Okay. So you can just blitz right to what,
like, I'm thinking,
matters.
the mission that has the two government mechs attack you near the end, because when you get to the dome, you do that mission again, you're like, I don't have to do this mission.
Okay.
I could just fly to those guys and kick their ass in 3 minutes.
The one that I pretty much last touched was the Michigan. It's a decision point, and you go to take on Michigan, and it's so good because it's like, okay, it's all business. We know betrayal is the name of the game. It's all corpos, and then they love it. Michigan's super hyped that you're coming to take the bounty that he put on himself.
that mission is so awesome, and it's so hard.
It's so nuts.
I almost ran out of ammunition.
I did
in that mission.
multiple times. Right, so I have my outboxer frame, which is the zoner with the Gatling gun shoulders, Gatling gun arms, just going DACA.
Oh yeah, that would run out of ammo.
Absolutely, and the whole time the fucking the red guns are talking shit about you, and Michigan is like, you fucking idiots, you useless pieces of shit. This guy's the best. He's trying to kill me right now. You can't do shit. You guys suck. He rules. Look at him go as he tries to kill me.
Don't talk to me, Iguazu. Get the fuck out of my fucking comms.
It's so good. While you try to take him on. What a champion, man. Yeah. Baldur's Gate as well. Continuing on with that. Just fully distracted from Halsin we wound up in the Underdark. And fought a beholder.
Spectator.
Fought a spectator. And just, I'm like, yeah, we'll get back to that main path eventually.
I remember going down to the Underdark and being like, am I ready to be here? And I barely survived my first encounter. And I'm like, I guess I am. It doesn't feel like I'm ready to be here.
So 3 encounters later, I was like, oh, okay, I think we are okay to be here. Because I was really worried to the point where I was using my rushdown characters to zone, because I was like, that thing's way stronger than us. We're not ready for it. And it turns out we actually were ready for it.
I hook or crook as long as you make it through.
Yeah. So I hope there's no in-game timers that are counting down between that mission where we walked up to the cliffside and saw a dead body, and it was like, oh yeah, you got here too late.
No, there are a couple instances in the game of did you activate this and then leave? But they're all very clear. They're like, there's like a building burning down. And if you like interact with somebody about the building and then decide to go leave and long rest, then the building will burn down.
Okay.
But as long as you don't interact with it, it'll just keep burning until you actually deal with it.
Yeah. The fact that like that was that one first mission where I just walked up on a body and everyone went, "You got here too late," made me go, "Oh."
That is like the only thing like that in the whole game.
Weird. All right. Early too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was legitimately afraid that like I was gonna get one-shotted by these Underdark fucking beasts, and I was like throwing chairs with Karlach and just, you know, arrowing from a distance because I'm just like, we're not strong enough to survive in its face. But again, if it turns out we are, then now I've learned, you know. I know.
So what happens after?
No, I know everyone hates to see the characters being played incorrectly, but I'm just like, if we're gonna die in one swing, might as well try to make our survival plays.
What happened with you after the spectator was dead with those guys?
Oh, so our iteration, it's so interesting how many possibilities there are. That's
why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because this one has a lot.
This one, what we got was the main druid was dead, and all the little add-on NPC guys were like, yeah, shame that he's dead and all. We came down here to try to do this. And they were basically just like, it sucks because he didn't make it. The first guy that gets
the wizard
petrified,
exactly. The drow wizard, yeah.
Drow wizard dies, and then everyone else is just like, yeah, that sucks. Anyway, we're gonna try to go save the rest of our people that are petrified here, I guess. But damn, that was scary. And they were clearly talking about it like, yeah, he was the guy. And then there was the other one who summoned the spectator and then ran away. So we got that name too, I guess. But that the conversation was them just kind of going like, well, I guess we'll just have to pick up the pieces and figure out how to save them. So
I got that variation, but I also in a different playthrough got a variation where the main guy lived. And he's like, hey man, why are you guys down here? And you tell him, I don't know who you are. I just walked in and got attacked by a fucking spectator. What are you talking about? He goes, you must be after my bullshit. And he and all the people that are unpetrified attack you. And you have to fight them right after fighting the spectator.
Wow.
And this is my favorite. Unless you're a lady drow, at which point he starts to mouth off and he sees you're a lady drow and he fucking tucks his dick back between his knees and starts to almost cry talking to you.
What? Whoa. Oh my God. Yeah, we would have been done. We would have been cooked because like we survived that fight in rough shape. Oh my God. Okay. And for things like that, if you wear the mask of illusions, it would...
If you wear a disguised self, you act as if you were or thing. Whatever.
Yeah, okay, interesting. That's funny. My God, that would have been some bullshit. Huh. I mean, at least they're not... Are they healed up by that point? Or...
No, they're in whatever state.
They're fucked up too.
They ended the fight in.
Okay. Interesting. Well, in any case, fucking Underdark Detour. We'll see where that leads.
Is it a detour?
I don't know. I hit a wall, and then I hit another wall, and then we hit that thing, and I guess there's other places to go, but the only place we haven't gone is a pathway past a bunch of clickers, which they're literally just clickers.
Are they?
I mean, there's mushroom men.
Are they?
There's mushroom-looking spore men in a field of exploding spores. They look scary and dangerous, and they're also around things that are, this spore will make you crazy and run in circles, and this one will explode when you touch it. Have fun. Yeah. Well, we'll
it's one of my the spore guys, the clickers you're describing, is one of my favorite little areas in the whole game.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It is A+ excellent.
They look super dangerous with the area that they're surrounded by. And like I noticed that like it's not about being next to the mine, it's about like being in the circle of its what do you call them again? Myconids? is that it for the ground like roots that
Oh, I don't know.
mushrooms will. Yeah. Anyway, when you step on those things, then you get infected. So, mycelium. Thank you.
Mycelium.
Yeah, we'll see where that leads, I suppose. This upcoming week gonna be gone though, so not recording. Going out to MagFest.
Cool. Have fun.
Yeah. Gonna see Gene as well, who's making it out. So that should be cool. Yeah, nothing super official. I'm kind of just having a chill one. But there's one event. So if you are around on Saturday, there's gonna be a Versus Wolves signing, 12 to 2 on the Saturday. Other than that, though, I'll probably just be in the games room chilling and. I think Reggie's going to try to sign up for the tournament for Street Fighter as well. So, you're
not going to sign
up? Tournaments at cons are always rough, man. There's always a lot of things going on, and I always I never want to be the person holding up the bracket, and
right.
And the TOs are usually really understanding. They're like, dude, we know you have to be doing a million things. So they'll I don't want to be that guy. Like, I used to run tournaments with people that were shitty, getting their fucking, I'm famous privilege and all that. And I don't want to put that on anyone.
Yeah, so. It's the same energy of like, I don't even want to walk into a store less than an hour before closing because I've been held up by people walking in 5 minutes to closing.
Oh, for like just to do your full shopping and then hold the gate open. Yeah. No, I get that.
Like if it's like my grocery store closed at like 10 o'clock and if it's like 9:30 and I could totally make it for one thing, I'm like, no, I will go tomorrow morning.
Wow. Okay. I'm pretty fast with running exactly to the spots I want. I don't often stand around and look at the thing. I just load up a cart and get the fuck out. But I don't want to put that inconvenience on anybody. So it's a maybe, but probably not. But that's gonna be it. So yeah, we'll be back the week after that, and I will be playing some short stuff. There's some good shit that I'm keeping my eye on. Some new things dropping and some other things. But I'll tell you this. I'm going to continue Ultra Kill. So this week,
yeah, because it's fucking rules.
So this week we're gone. Check us out next week. But in the meantime, check out some stuff over on the main channel, and we've got a new Wooly versus Whatever as well, which has been flagged 18 plus by YouTube. So that's fun. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's this slop is an affront to humanity.
That sounds 18 plus to me.
The worst part about when a video gets flagged 18 plus is it's not like a copyright strike or a claim where they tell you the thing. They literally just say, hey, your video has mature vibes. Watch it carefully and tell us if you think there's anything you can fix about this. And then I'm like, there's nothing. We don't, like, it's fine. And then they're like, yeah. Well, no, so it's locked. Sorry. Your appeal is a one shot, like, take a guess, right? It's the exact meme of like the tax man shows up, IRS, money time, how much do I owe? Guess. Is it this much? Jail.
So which is worse, when you have no idea why it is, or you know exactly why it is and you're like, darn? Because I'm looking at my YouTube channel right now and there is a video I uploaded last week, age restricted and limited monetization, and 18 plus only.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened.
And it happens to be the episode from last week of Pat beats his wife at video games. And I look at that and I go, I wonder what I did to cause that to be restricted to 18 plus. I just don't know. I just have no idea.
Okay, so that's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's why I haven't gun to your head, right?
Fuck, man. Yeah, well, all of it. Just it's so stupid.
Is that what happened to Race Wars too?
I don't think it happened to Race Wars. I think Race Wars was okay, but just context, right? It all, yeah, whatever. I prefer to know the thing, so because every time Wooly versus whatever goes up, it like there's like 5 versions that get claimed and hit before that.
Yeah.
So the version that stays is the one that goes out. So I don't mind targeting it and just going like, fine, you have a problem with this clip, I'll remove it. But just, hey, the vibes are kind of mature here, guys. I don't know. It just kind of sucks, man. Anyway, whatever. That's Wooly versus. Check it out. What's up?
Let me take a stretch here. I'm at the point where I'm having to use Google Docs to break down my week now.
Okay. Fair.
So, first things first, there was some, let's say, confusion and let's say gnashing of teeth over the name of the segment I was doing over the past couple weeks called Defeat the Refund.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to make that horrible screeching noise go away and also include more shit, I've turned it into Beat the Backlog.
Okay.
Which is the exact same gimmick. It's the exact same thing. But I'm including shit that sits. I don't know how you organize your Steam library, but I have a folder that I put on Steam, which is I have not booted it.
Okay.
And that folder is huge. That folder is like embarrassingly gigantic. So I've included that in as well. I have also done some OBS tomfoolery, and now I have a fucking spinning wheel with people's names on it, with fake applause and a fucking drum roll, and just I am not choosing. I am in no control. I randomize the entries. I fucking spin it,
and someone's name gets to choose, or
so people have suggested. So people have been suggesting things to put on here. So I take the person's name who suggested it and put their name on the wheel.
Okay.
And then I have little icons of my head.
I see.
that function as a house choice. And then, I'm so happy I put these on. I put a bunch of spin agains on there, which I keep landing on, which means we get to spin the wheel again. And it goes brr.
Now, what are the percentage chances that people will actually get their jackpot?
So it used to be about 10%. There are now so many names on the wheel. People are down to 2.5%. And I don't even have all of the names on there.
I have a really sick idea.
Yeah.
How about the more people that put their name on the wheel,
yeah,
the more you increase the value and decrease their chances.
Mm-hmm.
And how about every once in a while, there's a 0% chance they'll actually get picked.
Uh-huh.
But we just roll with it as if they had a shot.
Nah, I don't think I'm going to do that.
No?
Nah.
But it really works, though.
No, the system actually works. It's quite simple. Games that I already own or are part of my existing backlog get to go on there for free, but I can only choose them in one of the 4 pat head spots for house choice. People that have donated in the past that like donated as well the entire cost of the game in question get on there first. People who have suggested things get on there second, and I'm rolling through. Like, there's one particular person who like kicked in 7 suggestions.
Wow.
So when I pull his name off, I just put it back on.
I see.
With the next one.
So the way this is like sustainable is that like the goal is to play it for about 2 hours though, right?
I have a 90-minute timer, and that is the maximum.
Okay.
Some of these have lasted less than 5 minutes.
I see.
And that was always the case because it used to be the refund timer, but now it's the can it hold my attention timer. So, like, for example, I have a list of games I want to talk about. What's not on there is Slime Rancher, a game I put on there that I played for 3 minutes before going, I hate this so much. And then backed out and deleted it and put it in my never play it again folder on Steam.
Okay.
I only had the wheel land on my own face once, and I wasted it.
Okay. Interesting. So I'm guessing that are people recommending things that are conducive to a 90-minute timer?
Sometimes not.
Because
sometimes really not.
Because I'm reminded of the problem that I faced when I some time ago was starting a game out and going, oh, if I do one session of this, I'm not going to get anywhere, and it's not much of a quick look. It's kind of a nothing. So why bother doing this, right? So if it takes...
There have been 5 or 6 games that did not make it 10 minutes. And I go, listen, I hate it. I hate it so much, and I don't want to play it. There was one particular person who suggested a game that I was like, listen, man, you can pick any other game you want because I've already played that game on stream, and it's my most hated game I have ever played on stream. So if you have any other suggestions, I will take that suggestion right now.
Okay. I mean... yeah, okay, I guess, because
so here's what I do. I put everything that I possibly have on the wheel. I shuffle the wheel, and I leave it completely up to chance, which I think is the fairest way to ensure people have their shot of getting their suggestion on the show. But then when I actually play it, if it sucks and I hate it, I'm not going to play it.
Have you ever hit a game where it's fine, but 89 minutes in, you're still in the tutorial?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
But even then, right? It runs the gamut. Some games I've gone over by 5 minutes, like 95 minutes.
Okay. Because if
some make it 45.
If someone said, yo, play Samurai Remnant, play Fate, you would be...
So the main crux of this, and this relies on viewer trust, genuinely, is that you, the viewer, have to trust that I will give it an honest attempt. Which I feel I have. But if you don't believe that, then don't suggest anything. But I really am trying to give these my old college try.
Okay. And and a game that is, again, like Dicey Dungeons, as you've brought up, which I love now, is...
that got 85 minutes.
But that's perfect for like boot and go, you know?
That game's just incredible.
Right. And I'm just I remember when... I mean, this is literally pre-pandemic or so, I think, like years ago, but it was like I was like, oh yeah, Plague Tale, I hear that's good, let me try that out. And then I remember,
oh yeah, that game's got a slow start,
right? And so the takeaway, which, I mean, fair, was like, hey, this is a good game, but like, you're not gonna see enough of it in one afternoon for anyone who cares about it to see what they're looking for from you, and you're not going to get the impression of anything based on that just onboarding process. So,
I think my favorite
who's this for
this
is what I got. I was like, okay, fair.
I got a sponsored deal for Persona 5 a while back for P5 Royal, and they're like, hey, can you start and do the game for 2 hours? And I emailed them back. I was like, do you want me to do the first 2 hours? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, okay. And I fucking hit auto advance and just sat back and chatted for 2 hours because you don't get to play the game in the first 2 hours of Persona 5 Royal.
You certainly don't. Speaking of the apropos of nothing.
Apropos of nothing, yes. Yeah.
You've talked a lot about Yakuza.
You may have heard me talk about Like a Dragon / Yakuza / RGG in the past.
So something like Infinite Wealth is a game that would be very, very much... it would like you to have beaten the game that came before it, wouldn't it?
It might.
So...
maybe.
Even if it were sponsored, perhaps, it might still be a bad idea to...
I don't think there's any bad ideas when it comes to being sponsored.
Okay.
And if you think that's a bad idea, then please, by all means, give me the email address of this bad idea.
Okay.
Still do that anyway. Send that to me now.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay.
What the hell were we talking about?
You were beating your backlog.
I was beating the backlog, which is funny because it's actually wildly increasing the size of the backlog. All right, I'm gonna fly through this. There's a game called I'm not gonna include games that I hated and don't want to talk about. I'm sorry to the folks who suggested them, but if I hated them and I don't want to talk about them, I will not, because it will just use up valuable podcast time, even though this podcast is shitty. All right. Played a game called Jet Lancer. Did you ever play a game called Luftrausers?
Yes, it's great.
Okay. That is Luftrausers, but with like an open world mission structure and tons of upgrades for your fucking ship.
Whoa.
That's Jet Lancer.
Okay. Fuck. That's great.
Okay. Wooly, do you like Trials?
I love Trials.
Okay. Do you like Metroid games?
I'm a fan.
Okay. Do you like furries? They're okay. There's a game called Laika Aged Through Blood, which is a Metroid game in which the player controls are identical to a Trials game. You are riding around on a dirt bike, listening to really good music and shooting enemies in slow-mo while you control your dirt bike via Trials controls.
That's a wild setting for essentially Trials. Sure. Okay.
And also furries.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, it's fantastic.
What's that other game with the furries and the child sacrifice?
The fucking yeah.
So
the tank one.
Yeah, you can make a good game with furries that can still have other things that are wild.
Fuga.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
That one. Yeah. Oh yeah. People are pointing out the bike parries bullets. It's great. Then there's On Guard, which is a like watercolor.
On Guard the French way or On Guard the American way?
On Guard the Spanish way.
Oh. Okay. Not as in we stand on guard for thee.
No. It is a fencing game where you're playing Lady Zorro, and it is a fantastic action game in which focuses a lot on moving around the environment and kicking people down staircases and kicking barrels at them. It's trying to recreate Inigo Montoya.
Oh.
Is what it's trying to do.
That's cool.
Like Zorro, but like more than that. It's like Inigo Montoya, the video game.
Oh, and it's third person action. Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's incredible.
What I see, it looks like from the way the camera is working and interactions are happening, almost like Absolver-ish.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of like Sifu also, but if Sifu had more like environment stuff.
When you 1v1, you can sidestep and dodge and attack and do all the different ripostes. Nice. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I also played a game called Blood West, which was provided by the publisher, which very obviously stars Gianni.
Nice.
Because I talked to a bull skull that was like a ghost, and I'm like, why does this sound like Columbo? Because it was Gianni doing like double Columbo voice.
Nice.
Gianni is a open world Western supernatural immersive sim. So you are sneaking around and clubbing zombies in the back of the head with fucking fire axes.
You said the name of the game was Gianni. What's the name of the game?
Blood. Oh, did I? It's called Blood West.
Okay. All right.
And you have a regular pistol that you are reloading like singular bullets at a time and rotating the cylinder kind of thing. It's really cool. It's very strange. And it's also extremely punishing. Like extremely punishing. I played a Vampire Survivors clone called God of Weapons, which is Vampire Survivors but in 3D, and you are playing Attaché Case HD as your upgrade system.
That's fun.
Like you're getting weapons in your inventory like a Diablo game, but you have to organize them and combine them in order to actually fit new weapons into it. It's great.
Okay.
And one of my favorites I played this week is a game called Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Have you heard about Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion?
This is news. This is news to me.
It's incredible. You play a little turnip man in a little vegetable garden who owes a bunch of taxes on his greenhouse. So the very first prompt in the game is to rip up your tax return. And then the mayor comes in and goes, "Hey, you dumb bitch, I own your fucking greenhouse now. Go do chores for me." And you play a little Zelda game in which every time you find someone's taxes or their receipts from the hardware store, you just rip it up in front of them. And they go, "Why'd you rip up the deed to my house?" And Turnip Boy doesn't talk. He just laughs. It's incredible.
I like the cut of his jib.
You find the strawberries dropped their phone off a cliff, so you get the phone and you're like, you're gonna give it back to the strawberries, but you change her password on her phone before giving it back to her.
Is this Kirby does his taxes?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with Kirby does his taxes.
It was a meme. It's a picture of Kirby doing his taxes, and he looks very sad when he's doing it.
I mean, kinda.
But this is kind of like, what if we made Kirby evades his taxes? Yeah.
I mean, right now, it's on sale right now because the sequel, Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, is coming next week.
This is... I'm like, Turnip Boy is fucking Kirby. Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Got
it. It's great. I almost beat it in the fucking 90 minutes. So it's really short.
Nice.
But it's great. And the last game that I played on Beat the Backlog was the Prince of Persia game that's not out yet.
Hey, yeah.
I thought it would be fun to put games that haven't come out yet on the wheel.
Sick.
So shout outs to KZ Excellent, who put me into the contact with the person who sent me a code. I know the demo is out, but I played the full version, man.
I saw that from the moment I saw gameplay in at the award show. I'm like, okay, I see traversal, I see cool time play, and in combat there was fucking character action shit happening with time reversal to change positions, and I'm like, okay, this looks legit. This looks super cool.
It's so good. I'm confused that it was like allowed to come out from Ubisoft.
You could feel it. You could feel it in the fucking trailers, man. Yeah.
Like
okay.
It's not, but it feels like a Devil May Cry game in like the timing of the hit stop and all that. It feels kind of like Metroid Dread when you're running around and platforming and shit. It's just incredible.
Tons of moves, tons of styles or like different abilities, like throw things out, keep the juggle going, walk to the other side of the screen, do a counter launch. Fucking
it's great.
Hell
it's great. It also features like a new Metroid ability to steal, which is hit down on the D-pad and it takes a screenshot of the room and then places it on your map as an icon.
Whoa.
So when you're running around, you can look at the screenshots you've taken to be like, oh, does my item fix that problem?
Nice. Okay, a little bit of a like still use your own fucking capacity to solve the problem. We're not going to give it to you.
It's like you're not relegated to just using like a question mark or a sword icon. And you can do those too, but you can also take a screenshot of like, I don't know what item would fix this traversal problem.
So that's funny because Dredge recently, I love that on the map you can mark your little things that you encounter for future reference, but there were not enough icons.
Yeah.
You know, there was just like question mark, exclamation mark, diamond, like whatever. And I was like, no. Like, no, I kind of want, the types of things we're running into. Like, I wish I had better variety, even though you have a good variety, but there's a bunch I didn't end up using. So That's cool. That's cool. That's good.
That's it for the backlog games that I played this week. I tried to go back to when you were talking about Cruise, I was like, I actually tried to go back to Runeterra this week because somebody told me they added Mordekaiser as a hero card, and I slammed into the worst card game wall I have ever seen in my entire life with trying to start playing Runeterra again. So at some point after I stopped playing Runeterra, they changed their format from every card that's ever been available ever to standard and eternal, which is eternal is the mode that has every card ever. And then standard is only some cards.
Oh, so like
can be
unlimited and current meta, right?
And yet, right. And I'm like, well, I guess that's kind of inevitable for most games that have these kinds of card games, right? And they have a rotation. So I'm like, oh, okay. So what is it, like cards from this year that are good or whatever? And I went to my decks and saw that every single deck I had ever made in the history of the game was no longer valid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is Spider Aggro not valid? That was a launch deck.
Yep.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just go look up and see what like expansions are available. And I'm like, I can't find a list of what expansions are part of standard. What the? And then I did digging and found out that there's no overall rule about what's included in standard or not.
Oh my God.
It is all based off of the last year's rotation and what the devs thought were good for balance.
Vibes.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so like card games will do like every these expansions are currently on meta or everything before this year is too old except for the starting cards, right?
Yeah, when you come back to Tekken, that feeling is brutal because it's like everything you've made every deck ever doesn't work anymore. Sorry, fuck you, poor boy. The only things that matter and are allowed are the base. There's a baseline that it's always there, and then only the latest like 3 or so expansions are allowed. So that's
there's like cards that the game launched with that are currently disabled. And so what they're like, well, what we want you to do is, you click in the deck builder, you click on standard. So it'll just remove all the cards that are not currently available. And then you make cards with that. And it's like, listen, I was a terrible deck builder before when every card was available. It's pushed me to net deck even harder.
But that's how you have fun with these games, right?
Yeah, I know. But like it just that was like an hour and a half of me going like, what is the, how do I know which cards is good to even what am I allowed? Can I use this? I don't know.
Do they have like a replay system or a spectate thing where you can watch other people like?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because the in Tekken the fucking RE4 shop guy will be like, he'll serve up some replays of some strong players, and then you can see what they're doing and then just copy their shit if you want to. You can get net decked like that.
So yeah, it was a bit of a wall to hit into, and I go, what's going on? And I couldn't find out what was going on. Because the system they have now is like, well, all cards are eventually going to come back at some point to some degree. And my brain then goes, well, which ones and when? They go, ha ha. That game is in such a weird place because the system they use to give you cards is so generous and so consistently free that the game basically doesn't make any money. And they talked about how the game doesn't make enough money to generate a lot of support. So it's kind of in like a prolonged maintenance.
I'm like, what other genres rotate content out of play? Like you talked about, Warframe would sometimes do that, right?
Kinda, not really.
Okay.
That's a really complicated thing, but everything that really matters in Warframe you could always get.
Okay.
There's Fortnite.
Man, fuck that idea. Ugh.
And Destiny. But Destiny doesn't rotate it out. Destiny just removes it.
Retires it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
So that's all the games that I played. However, here comes the story of my week. A story I have to preface with I have everyone involved's permission to tell this story, and everyone is fine at the end of this story before I even start. So, my wife, Paige, has been feeling very tired lately because, you know, she got COVID and she just had a baby, right? So we go to the doctor. And the doctor comes in and goes, "Hey, how are you doing?" She goes, "Fine." She goes, "Well, we got your thyroid tests back, you know, and we think we might have a reason why you feel so tired. Your thyroid hormone is at 73 point something." To which we ask, "Oh, is that high?" She goes, "It's the highest I've ever seen in my life." To which we go, "Well, what's normal?" And she goes, "Well, 5 is high for normal circumstances." And we go, "Well, how bad is that?" And the phrase that comes out of this person's mouth is, "Well, you walked in here and you're talking."
Okay.
So okay, we'll use a new medication to up the thyroid stuff. Okay. And she says, "Well, we want to run some extra tests." We go, "Okay. Well, one of these tests," we get home and then Paige will have to go back the next day. So we're sitting there and we realize that one of these tests is a urine test, but it's a 24-hour urine test. We didn't know what that meant. So we looked it up and then we called the office and we're like, "Well, a 24-hour urine test is when they give you a big bucket and they tell you you fill the bucket all day and then you bring the bucket back."
Wait. As in, it's a reusable item?
Yeah. It's a full day piss bucket. It's a medically necessary piss bucket.
Okay.
Okay, so Paige is a little indignified.
Yeah. So, you know, technology will sometimes do things where they'll be like, "Oh, this is like you got to give a sample." So,
they need a whole day's worth of sample.
Is it a sophisticated bucket with a seal for biohazard and
you screw the top on.
There's a top. Okay.
Yeah, there's a top, boy. You have to bring it back.
You said bucket, so I'm just trying to establish.
It's more like a jug.
I'm just trying to establish it is not a pail.
No, it's not a pail.
Okay.
It's not a pail.
All right.
Okay.
Got it.
So we're having a morning, and Paige is like, "Well, I gotta go pick up my bucket." She walks out the house at 11:30, right? And I got the baby. I'm taking care of the baby, and I'm like, you know what? I might as well, because I gotta the beat the backlog stuff requires me to set up all the games beforehand and download them and make sure they track in OBS. So I'll take the baby to the office, and then we'll, me and the baby we'll set up, beat the backlog, and then I'll come back before Paige even gets back from the doctor. Okay, so I take the baby. I get here at this chair right here. I get here at 11:32 a.m. Paige left at 11:30, and I do all that stuff, and then I go back, and then Paige comes home around noon, and we're sitting around, and she's like, "Hey, where's Elmo, the cat?" I go, "I don't know. I'll go look for him." So it's noon now. So I'm looking around the house for Elmo. And by the way, this was like Wednesday, so it's the coldest day of the year. And I'm like, that's crazy. It's 12:20. I can't find Elmo. That's nuts. And she goes, well, he's got to be here somewhere. So she trades me the baby, and she starts looking around the house. Now it's 1 o'clock. And I check, we got an automatic litter box for the cat that tells me when the cat goes to the bathroom. Last time cat used the litter box was 11:28 a.m. 1 minute before me and Paige both walked out of the house. Like, he couldn't have gotten out. I couldn't. No, it's impossible to see him. It's now 2 p.m. Me and Paige are taking shifts, wandering around the neighborhood.
No.
Going, Elmo, Elmo, are you in the bushes? Elmo, where are you? Where? And then we come back, and the person who was out cries and takes the baby, and then the other one goes out. It's now 3 o'clock. I'm crawling underneath my house with the spiders in case he got out and he got into the crawl space because, you know, it's warmer on there than in the oh no. And then it's 3:30 and we're both just sitting on the living room floor holding the baby, bawling our eyes out, going, we killed him. We let him out of the house and it's so cold and he's dead. And he's dead now. We killed him. And then Paige goes back out on the street to ask neighbors. And we've texted all of our neighbors. And we've knocked on all of their doors. And Paige is out in front of the house going, Elmo, and crying. And then I turn and he's coming down the stairs in our living room. And he goes, bleh. And he's just there. I'm like, we went through every closet. We went through every single inch of the house. And so now we're looking at the cat and we're going, you motherfucker. You fucking. Now I'm having to text neighbors I haven't seen in months and be like, false alarm, the cat was in our house. And we look like idiots. And then the cat starts to go back up the stairs and I'm like, okay. So I follow him and he goes into the nursery and he crawls through a crack in one of the closet doors. And he climbs under some of the boxes that we never unpacked for moving. And he crawls into the bottom box in the back corner that you could never see without pulling every box. Because me and Paige went into that closet and we were like, Elmo. And we shook all the boxes around and we checked it and we looked in them. And he was like, no, he was just asleep for 4 hours. He was just asleep for 4 hours in a new spot. In a new spot that he decided he liked. And Paige was like beside herself because she's like, I was in a rush. I was upset about my bucket. I wasn't paying attention and I let him out and now he's dead. And I was like, I just wanted to fix up the work stuff and I let him out and now he's dead and we're just both blaming ourselves.
Okay.
Like, no, the cat's fine. Cat's fine.
So
no problem.
The thing is that you Chekov's gunned a piss bucket into this story. So I was fearing
the reason
the second worst.
So the reason why I included the piss bucket is, one, it's really funny. And two, and Paige also screwed up the first day of using the piss bucket, so she has to do it again. She forgot, she wasn't paying attention and went to the bathroom like regularly and missed it, so she's got to do the whole thing again.
God.
No, the reason is because she was like embarrassed and like pissed off about having to get the piss bucket, and she was in a rush to get there and back. She wasn't paying attention when she walked out of the house. Okay, which is what kind of led to this feeling of
the possibility of missing being distracted. Right. Okay.
And I had the baby in a bassinet, so I was focused on the baby.
Okay.
So I was like, no, hold on. I did not say. My phrasing might have. Paige did not miss the toilet. I'm saying she went to the bathroom and forgot to use her bucket.
Okay. All right. Again, I thought by storytelling rules that the new hiding place was the one that just came home that was not there before.
No, he would never be able to fit in the bucket.
I mean, I don't know. Like, that's wild. Also, it might have to be, I don't know what a day's worth is, but I imagine there's enough volume for.
There's plenty. It's a nice big bucket.
Cats can squeeze into all kinds of corners.
Yeah,
man.
you're right. So,
Okay.
and then
all right.
so
all's well that ends well.
And so in the process of crawling around the house and looking everywhere, I discovered that I have made a mistake as a homeowner with my current yard. And that is, there's snow on the ground and I'm so upset about Elmo. And I look around and I go, I forgot to disconnect the hose from that goddamn faucet before it froze.
Oh, no.
And I go, I don't know much about it, but I'm pretty sure that's bad.
That's done.
So I go, well,
yep.
I'll just walk up to it and unscrew it. Yeah, right.
It's cooked.
So then I'll okay, okay, well, that's not good. All right, I'm going to call a plumber. I'll call a plumber. And he's busy. So I'm like, well, I guess it's kind of up to me now. So I try it, and I try it, and I try it. Can't do it right. So I start looking up videos, and first of all, I realize I've been turning the faucet the wrong way. I've been trying to get the hose off the wrong way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Yeah, but that's the top of the thing. So I was doing it backwards. So okay. So now when I turn it,
just handy home man.
now when I turn it, I'll turn it the correct way, and I go to turn it the correct way. I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen. All right, well, let's go get some boiling water and a rag.
Oh, that goes well.
And we'll do that. And no. So I'm like, okay. Well, today's the first really, really cold day. All right. And then I walk into the house and I'm walking around. I go, what am I gonna do? And then I look over and I see the page has lit some candles because she likes candles around the house. It smells nice. And I go, aha! And I reach and I find her. She has one of those long candle lighters.
The flame, yep. With
the for like a wood burning stove or
click.
for safe candles things. So I take that thing and I go outside and I just fucking light that thing up and just fucking run it over the bolt.
Oh my God.
For like 5 minutes.
Get it.
Came right off.
There you go.
Came right off. And here was the moment of truth. Then I turned the faucet. And the water flowed out just fine. So the pipe is completely fine.
Yeah.
And then I sealed it back up.
So modern day plumbing means that you don't have a fucking cabin up north, which is like if you don't kill the water before winter, you're fucked. Your plumbing is fucked completely. Yeah. Thankfully, that's not what's going on. But that hose is probably botched. Like,
the hose is abjectly ruined.
You cannot let it go through that.
No,
kind of cold.
it's sitting outside in the shed, waiting until it unthaws so I can fucking throw it away.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
but
good solve.
Yeah. So that was all one afternoon last week.
Damn.
So like that was a bad day.
Were you wearing your plaid shirt while trying to solve the problem?
I was.
Damn. Okay, you had all the buffs. You had all the buffs in place. You had the right equipment. All right.
I was wearing my red plaid shirt.
Because you have to put the right equipment on before the boss fight. Because otherwise, what the fuck are we doing here? All right. Cool.
I asked my chat the other day. I was like, do you guys because me and Paige, we just live in Clown World, and I was asking like, do all of you guys live in Clown World too? And the answer was no. Sometimes people visit, but it seems like only my wife and I just live in Clown World.
Yeah, I see Clown World approaching from outside. I look out the window sometimes, and we see it. Punch Mom and I can see Clown World starting to make its way over, and we lock the fucking, we bolt the doors and shut it down. The
problem, Wooly, with me and Paige is that Clown World is coming from inside the house.
The Clown World is coming. Yeah. All right. Hey, problems handled. Good.
So, If you want to see me spin the dopamine wheel for more Beat the Backlog, go down to twitch.tv/PatStaresAt this week. Tomorrow, though, is the new FF14 patch. And Friday is an episode of Beating Your Wife at Video Games featuring Pal World, which is coming out this Friday.
Yes, it is.
The Pokemon slavery game is coming out on Friday.
Let's see how YouTube's 18+ filter feels about Pal World's commentary on capitalism and fucking and modern day slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. All right. Quick bathroom break.
Yeah.
BRB. Hey. Good job, Dad.
Thanks, man.
Good job. right. Quick word from our sponsors.
I love sponsors.
This week, the podcast is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Hey, you know, going online without ExpressVPN is like banging a hooker without using a bag. Hey,
there's no way. There's
jokes,
no way.
Jokes. We're kidding. We're kidding, folks.
They didn't write that this time. There's no way.
You click here to laugh. You click on the. You listen to the podcast to get a little chortle. That's why you click. Just jokes. Listen, going online without ExpressVPN is a pretty dangerous thing. You want to protect yourself from whatever the dangers of the internet might be bringing you, whether that is someone who's trying to hack your network data, whether they're trying to steal your personal data, your financial details, passwords, or maybe even just so that you can access the things that you're otherwise not supposed. Hey, it doesn't always have to be a baton, you know? We're good.
Just like you wouldn't go out on a Friday night without hot sauce, you shouldn't be browsing the internet without ExpressVPN.
It's a good idea to keep it safe behind protection. And in particular, your ISPs even are out there trying to get a piece of the pie. There's all kinds of data they can sell. It's terrible. Don't fucking listen. Analogies are great and they're useful in the human language. We use them to learn things from one place and apply them to the other. So the point is this. You want to browse the internet with an encrypted tunnel that creates a secure connection between your device and the internet. Hackers can't steal your sensitive data.
They can't steal it.
It would take a hacker with a supercomputer over 1 billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. There is no chance. It's like, you know. All right.
You've thrown me so bad.
It's really easy to use. You just press the button and then you're on, and that's it. You don't have to work it in any. It's not difficult. It's really easy to use, and then of course it works on all your devices, your phones, your laptops, your tablets, and more. So you can stay secure on the go. I use it so that I can browse YouTube and I can use it on my video streamers to see stuff that Canada's not allowed to see. And that's great because sometimes pretending to be in New Zealand is like, hey, well, I can watch this or I can get that game. And that's cool too. So be sure to get yourself in on it. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/superbeast. That's expressvpn.com/superbeast. And you can get an extra 3 months for free. expressvpn.com/superbeast. Thank you very much.
Thanks, ExpressVPN.
See, you didn't buy it for a second, but how many months are we from hitting the point where maybe
I'm just sitting around and people don't know about the hot sauce trick.
Oh, I mean, Drake taught us about the hot sauce trick.
People are like, where do you put the hot sauce? In the condom, dumb fucks.
Of course.
So no one can steal your seed.
I mean, it's also useful for food, but you can.
I just spilled water all over my fucking self. I'm cold.
There you go. All right.
I'm cold.
Good job. Let's get into some of these stories.
Before that, I forgot something. A very important note.
Oh.
I watched a movie. My wife and I managed to watch a movie for the first time since the baby was born.
Oh, fuck. Wow. When you put it that way. Fuck. Damn. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Okay.
And we watched the whole thing through.
The whole thing?
We watched a movie from 1995 starring Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo, and Robin Williams called To Wong Fu.
Thanks
for everything, Julie Newmar.
What possessed you guys to hit up To Wong Fu.
Paige was sitting around going, man, you should watch To Wong Fu. And I'm like, what the fuck are you saying to me?
Wow.
And she's like, yeah. So we sit down and we start watching To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
You've heard of To Wong Fu before.
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of To Wong Fu?
No idea what I was sitting down to watch. Nothing.
Really?
No idea.
Wow.
So, to those of you who don't know, To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, is a story about the characters played by Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, and John Leguizamo, who are all playing drag queens in 1995 New York City, who win an all-paid trip to Hollywood in order to compete in the U.S. drag queen competition, nationals. But they can't fly. They'll have to drive.
It's that's a fucking drag movie classic.
It clearly is. Like, as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, you know, when you sit down, you're watching something, you're like, oh, people are crazy about this fucking movie, aren't they? And unfortunately, along the way, they get into some zany hijinks where they may or may not kill a cop and get stuck in a podunk town and save the day using drag.
Mm-hmm. You picked a real interesting week to watch a movie about a black man in a dress, I'll tell you what. Because that's currently that's the discourse being discussed online. Anyway, regardless.
They don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, there's a whole thing with like, oh, you know, when you get to Hollywood, when they want to really like let you know what your place is. If you're a proud black man, they're going to try to stick you in a dress. And
was that Cat Williams?
That's the conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to put you
here's
in a
the
dress.
Thing, though. Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, Wesley went from this to starting the filming of Blade months later, right one to the other. And also, Snipes and Swayze and Leguizamo kill it in drag. They're great. They're legitimately fantastic.
I remember it for some reason was for like, did you have? I think it was like channel 14 or no, that was Canal Plus for us. I think it was 12 that was CFCF 12. Whatever. There was a channel where they advertised pay-per-view, and for some reason they would always cycle through the latest pay-per-view movies, but they would have the latest WWF event, whether it was in your house or whatever, and To Wong Fu was always there.
Oh,
so,
I didn't know that.
On TV for years, To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, the trailer would just play every single day.
Hey, I need to stop somebody. I'm seeing somebody in the chat who knows me relatively well, I guess. Pat finally comes around on John Leguizamo. Listen, okay, Paige told me who was in the movie, and I'll be honest. She started to say John Leguizamo, and I said, I'm not watching that. Okay? When I sat down to watch John Wick and John Leguizamo came out, I was tempted to turn it off. I hate his stupid fucking face. The only movie I ever liked him in is in Collateral, where he gets fucking murdered by Schwarzenegger. Okay,
not Spawn, where he method acted to eat.
That was the first time I ever saw him, and I was like, ugh. And so
what about Romeo plus Juliet?
I didn't see that.
Where he's Tybalt and he comes out and he pulls the vest off and kisses the gun.
She's like, no, he's great because he's playing an annoying little shithead in the movie and everyone hates him. And I went, I can deal with that. And then I'm sitting there watching Chi-Chi be just the most extra piece of shit ever. And I'm like, no, wait, my feelings about John Leguizamo are the point. He is cast because the way he looks and acts causes a fucking like, oh, this fucking guy reaction in people's hearts.
So you're down to watch what you hate as long as it's within the context of your
within
hatred.
The context, yeah.
Yes, understood. Okay, got it.
And his foundation in that movie is terrible. It's so like awful, just awful, so awful. They pointed out at some point
So
yeah, great movie.
All right.
Super weird. Super like it also. Hey, you remember old? Hey, so here's a fun thing. This movie came out in '95, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got to watch it. Baby's asleep. That's why we put the baby down early. He fell asleep around like 9 o'clock. And we're like, oh, we could watch a movie. But we got to watch it low because don't want to wake baby up, right? That So we turned it down low, but the version we found didn't have subtitles. We're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? So we just turned it down low, and we're like, well, I guess we'll have to manage. And it wasn't a problem. This movie from '95 that we just had the volume down low, we understood everything, and it wasn't a problem, and we could hear everything, and we didn't need subtitles. You could just listen to it, and all the voice was clear.
The mixing was
clear.
Huh. How about
and it made me super pissed off about how I need to watch everything with subtitles now because Nolan fucked up all the mixing. But the other thing is that like it takes place in '95 and it takes place in the last second of the world in which people in the country of the US are like, oh, you guys are from the big city. What's that like? I've never seen it. Because the only time you'd ever see anything about the big city would be on TV or movies. And I'm just like, oh yeah, because '96 was when AOL got really popular and the internet happened and it ruined everything in our lives.
Back when we were collecting the 1 cent CD subscription flyers and shit. So are
it's
you
like a really weird time capsule?
Mm-hmm. So y'all moving on to Paris is Burning next, or
I don't know what that is.
1990. It's another drag movie.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. There's a whole road to go down there. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that because it's great and I could hear it.
Mm-hmm. Also, the Birdcage. That's another one.
Oh, I mean, I watched the Birdcage back in the day. There's a scene from the Birdcage that lives on in my memory forever. Every day, I think about the Birdcage and I laugh because do you remember what the impetus of the Birdcage was? Like why the congressman or whatever the fuck is hiding at the Birdcage? So he's the PR guy for like a senator, right? And he's hiding in the Birdcage because he doesn't know what to do. And he picks up the phone and like the congressman is dead. He's like, he's dead on top of a hooker and she's underage and she's black and she's talking to the reporters right now. And then it smash cuts to like a 10-year-old black girl talking to reporters going, yeah, well, he was still smiling, so I just kept going. And I'm just like, that is the most ultimate PR nightmare.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's dark. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Established. Good stuff. Well, I'm happy that you're able to catch a movie. Holy shit!
I just remembered Birdcage came on in the middle of a Sunday afternoon, and Dad and I started watching it because it had Robin Williams in it.
On TV?
We didn't know what it. Yeah, it was on TV.
Wow. Okay.
And we didn't know what it was. And my dad and I are watching it, and we were having like kind of like a Homer Simpson, Bart Steel Mill situation.
Okay.
In which my dad is like, what? What is Robin Williams?
Interesting. You know, I never got to have any of those moments because that was all just the devil.
Yeah, the devil.
That was all just Satan. So there was no like, Damn, I'm kind of jealous. That sounds kind of fun.
I think that was when I found out the gay people existed. I think sitting there and watching the Birdcage was the moment intro. Where I was like, huh? But they're boys.
Huh.
What?
Interesting. Yeah. No. That was all just that. We knew about that well before that because that was all.
Well, yeah, because the devil, yeah.
Yeah, and there's scripture on it. You see, so. Okay. Well, let's get over to the news. What's going on? Hey, so Tekken 8 intro dropped, and with that, DLC number 1, Eddy Gordo.
I need to ask you about that hair.
Yeah. So, here's what's
out of touch.
What is going on, right?
What is going on?
Okay. Listen,
because I'm like, oh, that's the hairstyle that Miles had in Spider-Man.
It's the Killmonger.
Yeah.
Black Twitter is very upset about the Killmonger because it's been showing up a lot lately, and Miles got it, and Echo has it, and it's something that's popped up a lot ever since Killmonger.
I will say that Echo's old mohawk was trash, so it's a genuine improvement.
And DJ from Street Fighter also got it, so I get that. Personally, I think it's rad as shit, and I fucking love that style.
I think it's a good hairstyle.
I think it's a super cool haircut, so I'm not on that train. I'm
bald, so I don't really have a horse in this race.
But like, it's pretty unanimous.
The Prince of Persia guy has it.
Prince of Persia guy has it as well. Yeah.
That's when it hit me, is when I was playing Prince of Persia and then saw Eddie got announced, and I'm like, oh, what?
Killmonger really made an impact and put it out there in a way that a ton of characters got updated with that. Coming from an era of like nothing but afros or cornrows or shaved, you're like, okay, can we get some better hairstyles? I've talked about this a couple times before. And then like it was one of those bits where you're seeing like one game that comes along that has a ton of really cool hair, and you're like, oh fuck, this is dope. What's going on here? It's Hogwarts Legacy. And you're like, yeah. Awesome. That's
cool. Moving on.
Good. Good to hear that. But the thing with this now is Black Twitter is pretty unanimously tired of the hairstyle. Me and Kenny are not.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I think it's super sick. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and pretend that I think it's a bad look, because I don't.
I'm really torn. Because like I am all the way out, not just because I'm white, but I'm fucking bald, right? Like I'm all the way out, and it just like I still remember just like every single time a game would come out and was like, this dude's hairstyle is trash, or the only available hairstyles available for black people are terrible. Like there was the time there was bald and fade and afro, and those were your three choices.
That's all you get
ever.
You know, it's that thing where it's like, hey, you know how like animating long hair is too hard for an era of video games, so everyone has every girl has short cropped fucking little bits.
And every guy's a space marine.
Yeah, it's that, except it's from the entire inception of fucking black people in video games to now, you know. It was wild. And then you get like a Barrett and you're like, okay, there's a Mr. T going on, I guess, and that's something. But yeah, I get the overused part because it has popped up a bunch since Black Panther. I'm not going to fucking deny that. There's a ton of other characters that Fortnite and characters from games I haven't played as well that I'm seeing it where I'm like, oh, I'm sure if I was out there playing these two, I'd see it more often. But I think it's super sick. I love the side cut, like, kind of look to it. I've rocked that a bit myself with my dreads by putting it in that, or like, so I'm super down. I'm not going to fucking complain. I think Eddy Gordo looks dope. I'm really happy with it. It's also cool that I like that he has that kind of barefoot, like with the wraps kind of look on his feet as well. Eddie's always had really sick designs. And I mean, this is from, one of the characters that was an origin of me being like, yo, dreadlocks look fucking sick, right? Early on in, that was one of the inspirations that made me want to get them. So yeah, he's a great design. It was always just the shaft of him being story-wise under Lucky Chloe that was the worst shit ever. And again, Kenny's fucking curse has finally been lifted. But when you scroll down, of course, there's people in that announcement being like, "Oh, I wanted it to be Lucky Chloe." It's just like fucking fall in a
Lucky
well.
Chloe's gonna come back for a while, guys. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. No, I think he looks super cool, man. And I'm sure there's going to be a customization option so that you can put the old style back on, you know, like most of these games always have the ability to do that. So if you want the old dreads, I'm sure you can get them on. But yeah, man, I fucking love what they're doing. I think it looks great.
Bro, I want Tekken to play good on the internet. I'm afraid. I'm so worried.
Fingers crossed.
Fucking Keats was on Twitter the other day going, "Hey, it's been like 3 years since I had to say like people deserve better net code because games coming out nowadays, they got that good net code." And I just said, "What about Tekken?" And he just posted like a fucking smiley face.
The problem is that when it's one of the tentpoles of the genre, it fucking hurts everything, right? You need the tentpoles to be solid all around. We shouldn't have to worry about the major entries in in fighting games being fucking having bad net play, man. So yeah, we'll see. Of course, with that intro too, you get the setup, the introduction of all the characters, fighting, drawing the line, the bird flying and such, and you see the bird that represents the piece of Jun that's returning and stuff, flying from behind Jin, and you're just like, the purest protagonist, only Jin can save this world, yeah, right? And like, we have to take down the evil Kazuya, and our hero is here. Meanwhile, we can never talk about Miguel ever again, by the way, because I don't know if you know Miguel's story.
I don't.
Miguel's story is, I'm a cool guy being the coolest with my shades relaxing. Explosion. Oh no, that church that just got bombed by fucking jets from Jin killed my sister because Jin's war is
for Azazel
is murdering everybody. What the fuck? Why did my sister die for nothing? And his entire character represents fuck you, Jin. And we can't bring that energy, can we?
There's two things going on with Tekken's story that are just absolute nonsense. The first of which is that the way that they apparently Harada wanted Jin to be evil, but the team wanted him to be good.
No, other way around, I think.
Oh, the other way around?
Harada wanted Jin to be the protagonist, and the team were pushing for the...
Okay, that has resulted in weird things like Tekken 6, where Jin causes a world war to get nothing done.
I think 30% of the population of Earth or so killed.
Like, he wakes up a evil ice dragon, and then he beats him up, and then it doesn't do anything, and now the ice dragon is in Zafina's arm.
Oh, was it the other way? It was the team that wanted him evil, and or Harada that wanted him evil.
Whatever.
Okay.
The point is, they disagree.
They disagreed, and that was the fight. Yeah.
The second thing, and most people wouldn't pick this up because it's stupid, and that it's like Tekken 4 to now is like a year.
No, I mean,
the World War that we're talking about that was 2 games ago was like a couple of months back.
2 seconds ago. Oh, fuck. So Yoshimitsu just
there have been
switching bodies up every 2 weeks.
There have been fucking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There have been 5 Iron Fist tournaments.
Yeah,
in 1 year.
No, I don't know the actual timeline. It's sure there's a gap somewhere there between the unlearning of the Mishima style and the introduction of one of Heihachi's many bastard children, and then the CG movie. But fucking yeah, the wildness of framing him as the hero here, and I guess the only thing they're doing is he's going, people like us shouldn't exist. So there's a bit of that like remorseful, don't worry, I know that I'm bad too, in sort of vibe. But like, Man.
Wait, hold on. People are coming. People are digging deep. There's also 6 months between 3 and 4. So like,
bro, look.
So like 3 to 8 is like maybe 18 months.
Look, I just fucking Ryu never dropped an Obama drone strike on a wedding, man.
Like, you don't know that.
Right? Like, can we, come on. How am I supposed to root for this dude? What the fuck are we doing here, guys? Can we just, like, Kyo Kusanagi sealed the fucking Orochi, and then some other cool guy showed up, and every once in a while he's like, yeah, I remember high school.
I think the combination of Tekken having like a Resident Evil ass nonsense story is really funny. But I think having the audacity of having Brian Cox get you up to date with the story so far in Tekken, when the Tekken story is complete nonsense, is even better.
Damn, they could have hired me. No, I haven't seen it yet, actually.
It's the fucking stupidest thing you could ever watch.
So I did see as well, shout out Xavier Wood, Austin Creed, did have another story video that came out about a month ago or so. So they're recapping a lot of this. I haven't seen the Brian Cox one though. It was recommended for Slopstream. I'm gonna check it out.
He is walking around on the volcano on a green screen, talking about a bunch of characters whose names he's reading off a chart that he can't pronounce. It's incredible.
I mean, it's either that or fucking Ace Combat, man, right? So
I prefer Ace Combat, man.
Okay, well,
got that JPEG dog in there.
I don't. I want whatever the fuck we're hearing about here. I get all the celebrities to salvage this shit. Like, do whatever you can. Fucking, just get the full works on it, because they're setting this up to be, I guess, what feels like perhaps the conclusion of this character arc.
They keep saying that,
but like, what does that truly mean, right? Like, is Kazuya gonna die actually though, or is this the beginning of many deaths for him, or the continuation actually? Considering, okay,
he already died.
Yeah.
He got burnt up in a volcano.
All right, I don't know. Eddy looks cool. That's good. For some reason,
Eddy looks cool.
And Law is on the wrong side of Law because when Paul is fighting him, Paul is on the Jin side in the intro. So it looks like people like Law, who hate rich people, he's gonna fight for Kazuya, and
but Kazuya's also rich. Maybe
he just needs rent paid. I don't know. And Azucena, the cool coffee queen, is also like, yeah, the G
Corp's better for ads.
Sponsors my coffee, baby. Let's go.
I love it. That's great, actually.
What? You're this cool new character with these fun, wholesome vibes, and your fucking business ethics are non-existent.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, but coffee business ethics are violent and evil and horrible.
There is a horrendous history, and perhaps that is canon to this character. Perhaps we are just seeing the truth with the Peruvian blend. I mean, wow, with that. She's with a smile on her face and a wink. She's like, yeah, it's better for the ads, though. Great. Just insane with that.
Great.
Also, I would like to call attention to the best part of the recent Tekken announcements, where they basically did a little summary and showed you the 30th anniversary pack, which is going to include, it has a picture of the timeline of all the Tekken games. This is the 30th, 2024 is the 30th anniversary. And the screenshot they have of Tekken 2.
Yeah, what about it?
If you zoom in on that picture, the cover of Tekken 2 is a little bit... Seems
weird. It seems too many characters in it.
What's that face in the corner? Is that fucking Dante from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
It's the fucking meme version that has Andy and Dante and Ugly Chris and Chun-Li on it.
Chun-Li from Marvel Infinite. It has the guy from it has Andy from the Simple 2000 fucking KOF. Like, what do we? Oh, it's
That's
fantastic.
not the first time they've done that, by the way.
Yeah, I love it.
Every time Namco social media puts up a screenshot of the Tekken 2 box art, it's always that meme version.
God bless the SEO that makes the meme replace the default when you search it into Google.
It's great.
That's the best outcome ever. Now, a quick Google search and a drop in place, and they don't even look twice. Whatever the graphic designer is doing, they're just, again, Okami fucking IGN logos, meme versions of boxes. I love it. Beautiful. So yeah, there you go. Now, meanwhile, speaking of fighting game companies, we got another one here, but this story is a little bit more complicated, it seems. So originally,
fucking up all their games. They've ruined every game you have. They DRM'd it to hell.
Enigma
banned
the story was Capcom is adding DRM Enigma to their back catalog of games, starting with Resident Evil Revelations, and it was reported that this prevents modding, it prevents cheat engine, and reduces performance by 10 to 15 FPS, causing stutters regularly. And all of this was, of course, very believable considering their statements on mods being just as bad as cheats or no different from cheats, and that they are a violation of public order and morals without permission.
Wooly, why are you saying believable? I saw a guy on the Steam forums say that the DRM got added and it broke all the mods.
Well, it turns out, according to some research done from the fucking 2BF Reddit even.
So I follow Lance McDonald, who did his own research, and I also spoke with Hitchhiker, the DMC modder, at long length about this. So there's at least 3 sources that went way into this.
Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation about this, mainly the stuff implying that it doesn't boot on Steam Deck anymore after these updates is not true.
It's just not true.
Apparently this has been something rolled out on a couple other older games, and in those cases it doesn't do checks for file hashes. It only looks for script mods. So if there's any just model replacement or like visual mods in games that work, that should still continue to be fine.
Also, this Enigma thing has been part of like over 30 Capcom games that have come out over the past like decade, and it's been part of them the whole time.
Okay, so
my favorite part, the update that broke this. It was a bad update that was supposed to fix a gun that had like a bad hash file in Revelations that had like you select it and it had question marks. That was the intent of the bug fix. And then it was discovered that it was a bad bug fix, and it was rolled back within 5 minutes. So this update was only live for 5 minutes, like literally.
And then they
5
undid
minutes.
it, but there was a thing implying that they're going to re-roll out of, I guess, a working version. Which then was part of the backlash here. So is this what they would call a nothing burger, I believe?
Yeah. Someone in the chat says, good, now roll back the other games you broke. That didn't happen. That's the point. Somehow one guy on the Steam forums and one guy's Twitter account just said it, and it became a news story, but it didn't happen. Like, mods didn't break, games booted on Steam Deck fine, DRM didn't get added.
Was there anything about the was there anything about the reduced performance at all, or was that real?
Yeah, for 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
For literally 5 minutes. Like, does Capcom not wanting you mod their games, particularly on stream or YouTube or social media? Yeah, they banned those Monster Hunter guys, so this made it easy to believe.
Yeah, they're being garbage about that regardless. But yeah, okay. But this whole thing is not a thing. It was, but I like as I put it in. Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask you a question, though you may not be able to answer because you're not American. I've heard the term I've seen people say the phrase "nothing burger" in my chat before, and I'm like, why do the Americans have to add the word burger when the word nothing is fine?
Yeah.
Like you can say, oh, it was nothing, but they have, oh, what a nothing burger. Like, does it must be a burger?
I don't know. I don't really know, but it strikes me. I feel like when I close my eyes and I try to like the world ends with you, target where it comes from, I feel like it's a internet center left liberal kind of thing to say, to just call things burgers. Like I don't get it. I don't know.
Is this like the gate thing that Americans do, where everything's is blank
a gate? Gate. Yeah. I think so. Perhaps. Maybe. Should we call things a syrup? Can we call it a nothing syrup for us? Can we translate
Must that? Americans describe all things with food-based suffixes?
Oh my god. That is wild. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. In any case, when I saw this story that wasn't a thing popping up, I didn't catch the Steam not working part until like
the Steam Deck
part. And I was like, wait, like what? Anyway, so
I spoke with Hitchhiker. I follow Lance McDonald, who's the guy who did like Bloodborne 60 FPS and all that technical stuff. And the general consensus is, hey, this is broken. And then people went to check it and went, what are you fucking talking about? Like, to be fair, Capcom's bad behavior with striking people's channels made it a rich environment to believe this.
It's very cromulent. It really is.
They created a situation of cromulency.
Can we call this discussion of the inception of Burgergate?
Yes, we could. We could call it Burgergate.
Good.
Alternatively, a scandal that is actually not a big deal, you could call it Gate Burger.
Yeah. All right.
Dude, I'm married to an American. They're crazy. What a weird people. I love them. Zany people.
All right, what's going on over here? So, GameShark accidentally leaks the Switch 2's release date, according to a press release.
That's so funny, dude.
The funniest is how this story is being reported on, and like in the fucking byline at the bottom is like, GameShark is now known as AI Shark, and everyone's like, shut the fuck up, no one cares. And they're like, no guys, don't you know about, we've rebranded as a new, and they're like, shut the fuck up, no one cares. What are you talking about the Switch 2? And Jason Schreier has reached out, and apparently they have clarified that they're just taking a guess, actually. They do not have the Nintendo console release date, but their guess was that it would be out.
This sounds like a shark burger to me.
Sharkgate, even. Yeah, they put fall 2024 as their guess.
I think the wildest thing about Switch speculation that I've ever heard in my life was I've spoken to people who said that, yes, a Switch HD or whatever the fuck you Switch Plus dev kits did go out, and then Nintendo was like, nah.
Sure.
Well, nah.
Yeah, like I mean, if it's anything like previous, like what people will have a lot of the time in advance is like a code name or a 3-letter code or something like that. You'll have the RVL for the revolution and so on. But Yeah, no, they're saying that it's just a guess, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, well, thank you, GameShark, and they're like,
A successor to the Switch coming next year is just unbelievable. What a crazy news! Like, yeah, no, I mean the timing would make sense.
and they're like, actually, we're not GameShark anymore, and everyone's like, will you shut the
no
fuck
one
up?
cares. Like if you want to be really cynical, you could imagine that this whole thing is so that like the Switch 2 rumor is associated with AR Shark. Hey, do you guys remember we continue to exist? But even I think that's a little bit too cynical.
I want AI Shark to be iShark, which is like a little shark girl like anime thing, but that already exists. There's a fucking VTuber shark girl. And
yeah, she's insanely famous. She's like she's one of the.
Wow. Are we gonna get him back? Uh-oh. Are the VTubers coming to get us? What's gonna... Oh, no. Damn. The VTube conversation will not happen. Oh, God. BRB.
Well, that was weird.
Very weird. Okay. Well, all right. Whatever. Quick Discord restart and seems like we're all good. Yes. We were in the middle of discussing Maury Calliope. And, I believe her... Wait, is that the right one?
Oh, Gura, you fuck.
Oh, my bad.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I remember in HoloLive there's the shark one and then there's the other one.
Oh my god.
No, not that one.
God, you sound like an old man. How are you not up to date with people's favorite internet anime girls?
I'm sorry. I have
Jesus
failed.
Christ.
Did I get the name right of the other one? That was right, wasn't it?
Callie? The one who's a fan of your channel?
I didn't get the right one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The shark one is pretty strong in the In the Vampire Survivors game, though, she's got the bite attack, and that's pretty good.
Jesus shit.
All right, look. What are we doing? Speaking of the AI shark, SAG-AFTRA have negotiated an AI voice acting deal, and it appears that it went through, and it has
everyone
clauses.
was happy.
It has clauses that allow everybody to get whatever terms they want, and it's got all kinds of consent forms and signups and details and things that are going to allow voices to be, voice actors to safely have digital integration of their voices and replicas that are all contractually on above board. The problem appears to be, however, that they forgot to actually ask any voice actors whether they were okay with the deal and whether or not they wanted to approve it.
Every single voice actor that I follow or see on social media went, "What the fuck? You signed it? I never even saw it."
Like literally, like Steve Bloom, Elias Tufexis, like everybody was like, what? And they're like, yeah, no, it's cool, guys. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's cool. So, that's it sure doesn't make strikes over these things seem undermined at all when the people that are one step above, that are supposed to be negotiating on your behalf and fighting aggressively and withholding work for your exact rights, then immediately go and forsake that same idea for a different deal.
Also, here's the fun part. Part of the agreement is right of refusal to allow AI. You have to be contacted and contracted and agree to the use of your license and AI thing, blah, blah, blah. But there's no actual ban on it or anything, so they can just keep shopping around actors until they find somebody who's cool with it and then scan them in. Now,
if this is what was brokered, if the deal was brokered specifically with the union, then is this also a case of like, basically they're now the official, go-to deal that has whatever back channel, whatever they paid, whatever there's going on that level is happening completely behind the actual actors' negotiation. It's not part of their contract, or if it is, it's just covered by SAG, so they don't get to interface with that aspect of it. That's fucked up, if so.
Also, somebody in the chat asked a really good question. Wait, first right of refusal, do you mean that the provision to be AI scanned is on by default? I do mean that. You have to opt out.
So yeah, literally all the major known voice actors are like, what the fuck is happening? We'll see where this goes, but
oh man,
it's literally the same, the SAG-AFTRA that we're just striking over. Yeah, cool. In the meantime, somebody check the clock. What's the number at for firings this year?
Oh, we've almost caught up.
Throw a couple
last year.
Throw a couple more on. The Lost Boys Interactive company, another Embracer Group acquisition, have lost a quote unquote significant amount of their workforce. Doesn't have a number yet, but it's putting the Embracer Group layoffs at close to 1,000. So yeah, just click the numbers up in the corner right there. Just high score. I believe we ended on the leaderboard note last week, actually. Has it surpassed last year in literally January?
Not quite yet, but it's we're like 30-40% there. Oh man, by the way, to follow up on the voice acting thing. I mean, if you're an actor or a voice actor and you're afraid of AI, you can all stand, you can all just think about standing in solidarity and everyone working together, like Tara Strong or Nicki Minaj. Have you not seen this?
What happened with them? I missed it.
Oh, 12 hours ago, Tara Strong was fucking posting a bunch of fucking AI art, and people were like, "That's AI art, Tara." And she goes, "Yeah, isn't it cute?" And then people just slap her comments from earlier in the year of like, "I don't know how to combat people stealing our voices for use an AI thing." And Nikki did the same thing a little bit ago where Nikki's against AI for voices, but for art.
Yeah.
Well, it's different when it's my job. It's different.
Or was it Nolan who had the you can create or you can leave whatever NFT thing? I don't want to get the wrong person on that. I think it was Nolan. Like with a fucking all right.
I think you're thinking of Troy.
Am I thinking of Troy? Sorry. I didn't want to get the wrong name.
You're thinking of Troy.
Yes, Troy. It was Troy. My mistake.
Nolan seems to be a sweetie pie.
My mistake.
Who does no wrong.
Okay. Yes.
Troy, on the other hand.
That's why I say it with uncertainty there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. The future is bright.
Paige backing you into a corner yelling 18-year-old Spider-Man until Troy Baker left is getting less embarrassing over time as he becomes more unlikable. Do you not remember that?
I don't.
That was that fucking God, what was it? It was in Texas for the Rooster Teeth thing.
Mm-hmm.
At that after party show. Mm-hmm. Where Paige and what was it, Jam got wasted and started dancing 18-year-old Spider-Man at you, and you just backed into a corner because the women were being crazy. Oh, and Troy Baker saw that and was like, "I'm out of here."
Jars.
Yeah, Pete Jars was there.
Yeah. Okay, now I remember. Yeah. All right. Yes.
With Sands. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Whew. Mm-hmm. That one was RAR'd up. That was archived.
Just take this memory and just put it into the away box.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what it's been replaced with? I'll tell you what.
What's that?
Have you been keeping up with Beyblade Burst?
Sat down in this chair and like, all right, podcast today. Let's look at social media. Wooly Versus has retweeted some children playing with their Beyblades. And I'm like, oh, first it's kites in the sky and now it's tops on the ground.
I mean, I already liked it, but I just retweeted it for everyone's quick reference when I fucking tell them.
Yeah, no, they got projectiles and shit now
they
on
have
the Beyblades.
Stands. The Beyblade has a disconnecting top component, which also fights in the ring at the same time, and there are now long-range stand users in the Beyblade battle.
I don't know, man.
Beyblade Burst fucking surge. Rip, 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 rip. Incredible.
I don't know, Wooly. I don't know about these Beyblades. What do those things cost?
Oh, I have no idea.
$20, $30. I'd rather save up my money to get Virgil in Peak of Combat. Have you heard that he's on sale?
Well, I mean, $20 to $30. That seems like you should be able to easily afford Virgil. What's the problem here?
Well, you see, Wooly, Virgil right now in Peak of Combat, the mobile DMC game, is 67% off. That's crazy, right?
That's a huge discount. That's pretty good.
Marked all the way down to $100 US from $300.
Oh man, God, like You could just, everyone could smell from the outskirts this thing popping up like, oh, and it's like, hey, would you like to? I wouldn't. Thank you very much. I appreciate but no, I won't be. No, thank you. And then it's like every style is a different split thing, and it's got PvP, and you always wanted PvP.
Well, it's a gacha game, but there's like fucking 7 characters, so you got to split them up.
Every style is its own fucking thing, and then you're just like, and the last little bit there is like, hey, fucking new music from everybody that fucking does it, right? Casey working on a new track, and that's super sick, and it's just that your ears can still appreciate the awesome new music regardless. Yeah. But I think it was just on the actual DMC like subreddit, there was like someone just posted like, you know what I'm asking, and it's just DMC 2, DMC Devil May Cry launch, and then Peak of Combat. And it's like, which one?
It's really great.
You know the question.
So, I mentioned it to Willie right before we started, but today is January 15th, 2024, which means today is the 11-year anniversary of DMC Devil May Cry. So we can all think back to our happy memories of that game, including ones that I forgot.
That's the important one to mark the anniversary of.
I actually forgot. People were talking about like what was more offensive than that game's like portrayal of women is that they were telling you that like, oh man, those girls in those other Devil May Cry games, they're hookers dressing like strippers. Do you remember that?
With Kat.
Yeah. And then somebody linked me to the fucking final fight between Virgil and like Kat hides behind a trash can for that fight.
Sure.
She goes and hides in the garbage.
Yeah. Happy anniversary to the snipe abortion.
Oh man. And the Virgil mobile. And the edited out Virgil fedora. People don't remember.
Right.
The definitive edition cut his fedora out of the game. He wears a fedora for most of the game in the original release.
Man, look, it gets its credit for the updates from the community roll-in and for the Fox News stage. That shit was fucking sick. that was great.
It's sick visually.
Yes, running through the Chiron is visually sick.
It's not very sick gameplayably.
Nice.
I tried.
Did it. You know what does appear to have sick gameplayably?
Please don't.
Granblue Fantasy Relink has a demo out.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. I actually was downloading it just before we started. I didn't have time to boot it up, unfortunately.
I should try that.
But if you were looking, go grab that. That's the action one that we've been staring at trailers for like 4 years now. It looks really cool. I've been just curious to see because it's like, is the platinum logo gone?
It's interesting to see what a platinum game looks like after you remove all the platinum from it. And the answer is apparently it's pretty good.
Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. You know, I mean, honestly, between this, Prince of Persia, and a bunch of other shit, the concept of the aerial rave style switching character or weapon switching character is like, it's pretty well disseminated into the action world now. You know, a lot of people are aware of the concept of stylish action and applying it to their games, and that's cool.
It took literally decades for it to disseminate, but it did.
The idea of like making your moves smoothly, seamlessly go from one into the other in a fighting game like way, just we're finally here, so that's nice. But yeah,
let's remember, platinum never loses its luster
ever.
It is like nonstop L's for them, right? Like, I'm not crazy. I'm not remembering that incorrectly. Like, just every time we bring a platinum for like the past 2 years, it's like, oh.
I mean, I've heard a couple people say that they enjoyed the Cereza game.
You're right. I did hear that game was pretty good.
So being truthful like that I caught, So I'm not too sure. But I mean, I could go find out, but I'd rather, and I'm sure you'd rather, fucking play Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked.
I'm very happy that finally a game is coming out that will stop that stupid conversation we keep having.
Bring it. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. There it is. Sparkster.
Like it'll come out and we can just put it to everybody and going like, which one of these do you guys like better? Also, which one of them is which?
So, did you looked at the screenshot? Because there was no trailer released, but there was a picture.
I didn't see it.
There was a screenshot, and you know what the screenshot is? It's of the original game.
Well, that makes sense. It's the first one.
So it seems like it is a collection and some features. Not any. It
says it's all three, right? So which means it includes that god awful third one.
So Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked collection includes Rocket Knight 1, Rocket Knight 2 Sparkster, these for the Genesis, and then Sparkster, the Super Nintendo game as well.
Oh, it doesn't include that god awful third one.
It does include. Well, no. Okay.
I mean that modern piece of shit.
One. Okay. All right. I thought you were shitting on the SNES.
Damn this fucking series!
I thought you were shitting on the SNES one, and I was
no, it's so confusing.
I was about to come at you sideways, bro.
Jesus Christ!
I was loading the fuck up to come at you sideways, but yeah, okay. The 3D one, no, the 3D one has been put into the memory hole. It has been completely annihilated from existence, swallowed by the pail. The 3D one has been completely swallowed by the pail. There's no acknowledging it.
Worst named series ever. So fucking confused. Like, people nowadays, it doesn't happen anymore. No, like in the 90s, when you'd have fucking a Genesis version and a Super Nintendo version come out, and they had the same name, and they were completely different fucking games. Like Aladdin.
Because it was... Because all that mattered was, hey, you remember the movie? Buy this. That's all. Shut up, right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. Completely different games on every single platform.
They're completely different.
Insanely different. Who cares? Shut up. Buy it. You recognize the thing. And yeah.
There are people in the chat right now going, there were 3 Rocket Knight games before the modern one? Yeah, there were 3.
Rocket Knight 1. For the Genesis. Rocket Knight 2 Sparkster for the Genesis.
Which isn't called Rocket Knight 2. It's just called
Sparkster. The protagonist from Rocket Knight. And then the SNES game.
Which is also called
Sparkster. Which is a spin-off of Rocket Knight 2. And that's the one that I know, because I didn't have a Genesis. I had a SNES.
Oh my god.
Fuck. Well, look, at the end of the day, they're fucking great. So
they're all great. Yeah, we can all argue about which ones are like better, but like they're genuinely all fantastic.
Super. Just one of those things that like when we went, I would rent forever because we never bought a copy when I couldn't afford games. It was just like rent. It's so fucking good.
Someone in the chat asks, is he a mouse? No, he's an opossum.
He's an opossum with a knight armor and a sword and a jetpack.
This shit's 95, 96, man. He was a cute animal character.
But one of the best mascot characters. Fuck that Tasmanian tiger.
Fuck that loser.
Bubsy shit. Get out of here. Rocket Knight, man.
This guy should have been in fucking Smash Brothers.
So, to be honest, like, it would be nice to see someone... Like, even if they never want to acknowledge the 3D one, I would love to just see, like, discussion of it in some form. Like, it's so weird that a failed game can come out, but because it was digital only, you can just pretend it never happened. And same thing for the Ninja Turtles Turtles in Time remake. Like bad published games that came out on disc. I'm sure there's companies that would love to pretend it never happened, but your Bomberman Act Zero is still going to be there in Dollarama if you get lucky.
It'll never go. There were so many copies of that fucking game.
Everywhere, But, like, it's just crazy that, because of the digital-only form, it's just, nope. We never, ever, ever, you never heard of it, you never saw it. If you didn't play it for the couple of months that it was available. Apparently, this collection, Resparked, has so a couple things. One, a rewind feature, which sounds pretty fucking sick.
There's parts of those games that are hard as shit, so yeah, that's nice.
Boss rush mode, museum mode with never before seen content, and a new animated intro from Studio Miela, which is really cool. I met the head of that studio, an animation team that does a lot of work for a couple different projects and games and stuff. Real good people over there, and they do some stylish work. So awesome that they got this gig on a fucking sick series. Yeah. I feel like whenever we talk about beloved Konami franchises, we criminally neglect to mention Rocket Knight. Because it doesn't come to mind as quickly.
Nobody talks about Rocket Knight.
No.
Why no noise about Rocket Knight?
Rocket Knight is not coming to Smash Brothers.
No, it's not.
The ones that mattered came to Smash Brothers.
Could have seen an assist trophy for Sparkster.
But while it's not going to join Snake and Simon and everything that it's fucking incredible. A really good platform series. So, take note of this one. Pushing the announcement, coming out on everything. And it's nice that it seems there's not enough details, but it seems like it's like relatively untouched. Seems like they're just putting the new shit and the originals.
We'll see.
Just collected. Yeah, we will see. There's no trailer as of yet. So, and I don't think we got a release date either. So, cool. Yeah, okay. That was pretty much it. So,
okay.
Let's grab some letters.
Hey, if you want to send in a letter, send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com.
We got one coming in over here from Chris from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hello, dear Maguro Wooly and Ebby Pat. What kind of sushi do you like? Any go-tos on the menu when you go to a sushi restaurant? Yeah. For me, personally, I love sashimi. I love the nice, clean fish cut, even without the rice. I love that. I love tasting it like however good the fatty cut itself is or so. Big fan of that. And for the actual rolls, it's not classic in any way, shape, or form. It's modern shit, but I love the cream cheese ones, the Philadelphia rolls or the kamikazes that have a little bit of cream cheese in them. It hits really good when that's a part of the inside. I love those so much.
So I don't know if you remember this, Wooly. Back when we used to go for sushi every now and then. I don't know what sushis are called. Every time sushi comes up for food or restaurant, I look at the massive, gigantic list of choices and I can't remember which is which. And I just panic. And I just tell whoever I'm with to order a whole thing, and then I just eat off the plate.
I feel like we got a boat with Fuggins, and you kind of just made him you just went, you do it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fishes are.
I believe that's what happened.
My wife is in the chat right now, sighing in frustration.
Okay, can you describe the ones that you like the taste of?
I like the cheese ones and the ones with the salmon in them.
Okay. All right.
And I like the chicken ones, ironically.
Yeah.
They're all pretty good.
I mean, it's look, you got your.
Also,
it's fine.
I can't eat sushi right now. Because after the baby was born, Paige was like, I can finally fucking eat some sushi. And we had sushi and sushi and sushi.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I had to actually be like, I will sit here and watch you eat it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Fair enough. You can definitely overdo it.
And I don't know about you, but when I overdo it on something, I can't eat it for like a year.
I haven't overdone anything in a while. So,
Paige, I know we had it 3 times. That's many times.
The variety is pretty good with it, though. Admittedly, with sushi, you can always go grab the kinds that you don't like, and or not.
But only if you know what they are,
you know what
because you're smart.
If you know the maki versus your sashimi,
if you're just
nigiri,
going, fish rice, num num num.
Yeah. Fair. I mean, look, when there's the pictures, you can see the ones that are like, ooh, this one has a little drizzle cream on it.
It helps with the pictures.
This one looks like a cone.
It helps with the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's stupid is my favorite thing to get at a sushi restaurant is gyoza.
Oh yeah.
By far.
But you kind of want to taste it though. Like I know the deal. It's the same thing everywhere you go to because it's the same fucking type. It's the packaged version of it you're getting. But yeah, I just kind of want to have some of it sometimes. The quality of the horseradish and wasabi though is important. Like that shit needs to fucking. I want some good kick, and I want it to do the whole palate cleanse. So. But yeah, I like the ones that are simple. I like the ones that are like even without the rice, just the simple meat cut.
I like when I go to a sushi place and the conveyor belt go by, and I go, I'll eat that, and then I take it, but then I don't know what it was.
Yeah. This is one that like me and Punch Mom disagree on, but like I'm not a huge fan of edamame.
It's all right.
I don't like that like the outside of the shell gets coated, but the thing inside is not, and that you're eating it and then separating it. I'm like, why not just shell it first and then put the seasoning on the thing that you're going to swallow? You know, it feels like putting it's like a sunflower seed, which I also am like, I don't like that process. I wish that the inside thing you were going to eat was already done. You know. Anyway.
Wait, what? Beans, right? Edamame beans?
Edamame
That's what we're
beans?
talking about? The
yeah.
green beans?
The green beans. Yeah. There's like a pod, and then there's peas in the pod, and then they usually season the pod itself instead of the beans inside.
Can't you just eat the whole pod?
Can you? Everyone I know.
That's what I did.
Everyone I
when
know.
I had edamame.
Oh yeah. I only.
Is that wrong? I have not done that.
I've only seen and know to eat the pod and take the beans out and then you put the pod aside. You eat the pod too? Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. I've never done that and I've never seen that.
Wooly, do you want to hear the saddest shit in the fucking world?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an adult man. I'm closing in on 40. I have a baby. I take care of the baby myself sometimes. I am a professional. I think I'm pretty good at my job. And I look down in the chat and my wife is like, honey, you like edamame. And I'm like, I guess I do. I don't know. My wife has to tell me.
You're just, that's...
Like I am a child. I am a fucking man child.
But also, it's up to she asked the wife. She'll tell. Yeah, okay, you're full circle. Congrats, you're now your dad. You're just It comes all the way around. Yeah, I've never been too crazy on it, but anyway, that's fine. Here, let's take one. From
I'm glad there's an adult in this house.
the one having a nap right now. Hello, Boomer Yund and Grixis Dredge.
Don't get it.
recently, Magic the Gathering has been putting out some crossover sets, which range from the fitting Lord of the Rings or D&D, and stuff from Arcane, Final Fantasy, Warhammer 40k, Street Fighter's World Warriors. Some of them are so poorly fitting, like Fallout, Transformers, or The Walking Dead, and it got me wondering, what do you think are signs that the creator has fully given up and are just taking money from anyone, regardless of how well it fits with your property when you're sticking your crossover into something?
It's not about it's not about the tone or the appropriateness. It's about the respectability of the thing it's being integrated in. So, like, to me, Peak of Combat actually kind of feels like shit. The Devil May Cry has this like wildly abusive fucking the fucking macro transaction fucking tomfoolery. That sucks.
Where's the crossover?
Between the phone and your money.
That's not even remotely related to the question. Did you just want to talk about that more?
No, I thought it worked.
It's talking about the idea of like putting fucking Negan in Tekken, right? Or weird fits for things. 2B showing up everywhere, for example. That's what we're all right.
I tried.
All right. Well, look, I think
have my wife answer for me.
I think that the fact that, like, hey, we're going to cross over Guilty Gear with Sam's show, but it's going to be biking, I think that's a great idea. That works. That fits.
I think that's great.
Yeah, that's a nice pick.
But also, it's like, oh, the character that would fit. It should have been a character that didn't fit at all. Like Happy Chaos.
You can go insane with it. You can. You know, but I mean, they also did do the fucking warden from For Honor, which is another wild thing.
Oh man, somebody in the chat points out Evangelion in PUBG was a big red flag.
Oh, the weird looking realistic versions. Yeah.
And have you seen those Spy Family fucking meat suits you can play as in Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There was a couple of weird Stranger Things ones too. I forgot what game it was, but there was a trailer that was like, what the fuck game are you? And it was like, oh, they're just, the license goes to whoever wants it. Who cares? Here's fucking, Alucard and Helsing in Modern Warfare. Just
it looks like shit.
Weird, creepy gunplay shit. Super fucking off-putting. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think we just grew to accept Negan eventually, but dear God, that makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. I think Witcher and Soul Calibur with the whole portals.
Which Geralt in Soul Calibur was the actual best one because like his own character like has a setup for it, which is the character hates portals.
I hate portals. Yeah.
And so for Monster Hunter and Soul Calibur, he fell through a portal and was like, "Fuck! I hate that I'm in this crossover." And it worked really well.
Similarly, I'd say like Ezio showing up in a Soul Calibur game is like, yeah, okay, right,
all right,
sure.
Yeah, sure.
Era timeline, why, sure. But I guess like, and then there's just
featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Well, there's that. I was gonna say Ape Escape in Metal Gear. In Metal Gear and Monster Hunter. and
you know what's great, man? I was sitting with Paige. I think we were on stream, or maybe we weren't. I can't remember. And I was just like, Paige, you remember when Big Boss invented Doritos? She's no, shut up. I'm like, he did. He did. I remember.
Darth Vader and Yoda were just the absolute dumbest possible inclusion.
That's probably so. Like that's really bad because Yoda was also like a poisonous influence on that game.
Fucking short, stupid lightsabers and force power. What are we doing? Yeah. All right. Okay. Also, everyone loves Nier and 2B, so 2B can do whatever she wants. Noob 2B gets immunity.
Yeah. Everybody loves 2B.
N says, Hustler Scam. Dear Woolly Wonka and Chalk Pat Factory. Hustler Scam Meal Ticket Edition. My friend just started a new job at Redacted, where each employee is given one ticket a week for a free meal in the cafeteria. The rest of the week, they have to pay for their food. Said friend recently found out that this meal ticket is a generic brand. You can buy a roll of 500 online for a few bucks. So he ordered one, and now they're eating for free every day.
Dude, you're going to get fucking fired, man.
Hustle or scam.
You are going to get fucking fired.
Yeah, but until that day happens, keep hustling, nigga.
Oh, man,
keep flowing.
Oh, man, they're going to ask you to pay that shit back.
That is a hustle, baby.
You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember the DoorDash scam?
Which one?
There was a way to do an order on DoorDash for a while that people figured out that would charge you $0, and the food would show up and would charge you $0.
Oh.
And people were like, fuck yeah, DoorDash for free. And they did that shit for like a year. And then DoorDash went into their fucking app and fixed the error. And then people's phones were blowing up with like $11,000 bills.
Oh, just got hit with the fucking back charge? Wow.
Yeah, every single one of them got caught, and they were all putting up TikToks going, I don't know what to do. I used the DoorDash trick, and now they want money. It's like, yeah, because you fucking idiot.
That's crazy. If you are willing to get fired, if you are willing to put the job on the line and you want to eat, then it is what it is. You know what you're risking.
My recommendation would be like do that like once a week extra.
Maybe not every single day.
Maybe not every single fucking day.
I mean, to be honest, like, well, anyway, I don't know what the work policy is and whether or not there's any discussions where work can provide you guys with meals more often. Sounds like a good thing that could happen. Sounds like something that would be ideal. But
so here's the thing, right? Here's what you should be doing. You should be talking to your work colleagues, and you should be saying, "Hey, man, I don't really feel like using my ticket this week. Do you want to buy it off me?"
Okay. Now the game has evolved. Now we're getting sophisticated. We have an operation going. Now we're getting dangerous.
So you know why I think about this, Wooly? There's a burger place in our neighborhood that me and Paige like to get once a week, right? Here's what happens. I walk up to the burger place and I go, "Hey, can I get a to-go order?" And they go, "No pickles, right?" And I go, "Yeah." And they go, "Got it, Pat." And then I go do some groceries and come back, and I never give them my fucking order anymore. That's once a week, right? If your work cafeteria sees you walking in 4 or 5 days a week with the ticket, someone there is going to go, "Hey, that seems like bullshit."
Now, at the same time, if you start selling it to your fellow coworkers and they're paying you out of their money for it instead of to the like, okay, we're evolving past hustle into scam territory, but you're also definitely going to increase the likelihood that someone with loose lips is going to start talking.
So to me, it's funny because it increases the possibility that one of them is going to get in trouble.
Absolutely.
Instead of you, which means to me, you're decreasing your risk of getting caught, but you're increasing your risk of getting your ass kicked.
I mean,
like you're trading work consequences for physical consequences,
or just being thrown under the bus, whatever the case is, because the moment you introduce more moving parts into the machine, there are more things that can break. It's real simple. Nevertheless, yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. Meal ticket edition. I like that. Not bad. Interesting. Just as long as you know every single time you do it what you are risking, you're aware of the consequences, and you sign off on this,
I should point out what they're doing is criminal. It is fraud.
I think
like the ticket is a symbol. It has no value in and of itself.
I think employees should be provided with work tickets across the board for a place that can provide them with. Although, I guess when you think about it, there's only so many places that would have a cafeteria like that. That was, I guess you could guess. There's a couple. Yeah, okay. I think I could figure out probably where they're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. You might want to use those tickets on some meatballs, perhaps. I don't know. But I'm just fucking.
Yeah, just guessing.
Just throwing that out. That I'm super, possibly super wrong. Don't. Anyway. Alrighty, that'll do. Yeah. So once again, not going to be streaming this week. So catch you on the next one.
Come watch my crappy show instead.